think our mics are live, I think, through the little intro video too. So.
Live from the Tucson Arena, this is University of Arizona Hockey. It's time to drop the puck with Timothy Gasson, the voice of the Wildcats. So let's head to the action with Arizona Wildcats Hockey.
Hi everybody, welcome to Tucson Arena, where the University of Arizona Wildcats are playing their second game against the University of Oklahoma Sooners. Hi everybody, I am Will Harmon, joined by Tom Callahan. And Tom, Wildcats are going for a home sweep here. They get go 3-0 on their home stretch here, and really kind of set the tone for the rest of the WCHL season.
Well, it's going to be a real big, important game for them today because you know Oklahoma, after yesterday's loss, a little frustration, a little embarrassment. They're going to be coming out hard, but for Arizona, and talking with Chad Berman before the game, the head coach of this Wildcats team, he's still looking for this team to establish itself and their pace of play, their style, and do it consistently. He wants to see it for a full 60 minutes. Doesn't feel like the squad has done that yet, so that too is going to be an important benchmark today.
Yep, and actually before the game, our own Autumn Freutland spoke with Anthony Cusinelli about their second game here against Oklahoma. Let's go see what Autumn had to say.
Hi, I'm Autumn Freutland, and I'm here with number 15, Anthony Cusinelli. Anthony, you guys played the University of Oklahoma Sooners yesterday, and you beat them 3-1. Talk a little bit about that game.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we played as well as we wanted Thursday, so yesterday was a good answer. Started off slow, but got our feet moving towards the end of the game, so we got to continue that into today.
Now, you guys are playing them again today. Are there any advantages to playing the same team 2 days in a row?
Yeah, I mean, third game of the weekend, both teams were tired, but we kind of got a little glimpse of how they play yesterday, so we're more focused and prepared today than yesterday.
Well, we've been speaking with Anthony Cusinelli, and we will send it back up to the booth.
All right, thank you, Autumn and Anthony. Cusinelli, the captain of this team, really has been kind of a benchmark for what the rest of the team should be playing for. A guy like Chris Westland as well, who has come up big with a lot of goals. How about that first line here for Arizona? How important are they to the success of the game today?
Well, especially getting off to a big start. That's something we talked about yesterday, and I think probably has been something to underscore all season. It's getting out of the locker room on time, and it's tough with an afternoon start. You come out here at 1 p.m., and again, this is the third game in 3 days, really, for both of these teams. Oklahoma even had a little bit of travel thrown in, having to come down from Phoenix. So, our legs going to be a factor in this one. Well, you talk about Cusinelli, his line, and the seniors have to lead by example. They have to go charging out there. They have to get the energy of this team up, and they have to make sure these guys are giving that full 60-minute effort. That's what leadership is all about, and Arizona needs to show that, and he's a big part of it.
Yeah, and another thing, too, about more on the defensive end now, we had a kind of a bigger goalie battle yesterday. Anthony Churro was huge in net. Phil Babb for Oklahoma also came up with a lot of big saves. Those guys are both really tough to beat. I expect a lot more of the same today.
Yeah, and Bavalsik will get the nod in net today here for Arizona. But, just because he doesn't get the bulk of the starts doesn't mean he's not an A1 goaltender. And he showed last season with several big games, several big wins for this team. I expect he will be standing pretty tall in net. Defense does start with your goaltender. It helps when you block shots, get sticks in the lane. You can take away passes and do that. But at the end of the day, shots are going to get through to the big guy between the pipes, and he needs to make those stops. I think they feel confident in Bavalsik being back there. So hopefully if Arizona does get out to a pretty good start, if they do falter a little bit, he's going to be there to make the stops.
Yeah, it's definitely not a knock on Churro, that's for sure. But Bavalsik's a very quality goaltender as well. Both those guys, they've liked to kind of interchange throughout the season, kind of give each other kind of a rest here and there. Looks like some of the guys are about to be coming out here just shortly. We'll be right back with the anthem and the player introductions.
go anywhere you like. Make me feel, make me feel. I know I'm wrong, but it feels so right. Make me feel like a Saturday night. Yeah, we can go anywhere you like. Make me feel like a Saturday night. I know I'm wrong, but it feels so right. Make me feel like a Saturday night. Yeah, we can go anywhere you like. Make me feel like a Saturday night. Until we come in for the morning calls. 'Cause this ain't live, but it's still good enough. I know I'm wrong, but it feels so right. Make me feel like a Saturday night. Make me feel like a Saturday night. Make me feel like a Saturday night. All right. Yeah. Well, I must admit, I can't explain any of these thoughts racing through my brain. It's true. Baby, I'm howling for you. All right. There's something wrong with this plot. The actors here have not got a clue. Baby, I'm howling for you. There's a moment in your bones when the fire takes over. Blood is running, heart is pumping as the battle gets closer. They can say what they want now. 'Cause we'll be screaming.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome to the Tucson Convention Center Arena, the home of your University of Arizona Wildcats. Today, your Wildcats take on the Sooners from the University of Oklahoma. Here's the starting lineup for the visiting Sooners. Starting at left wing, number 7, Jeff O'Day. At right wing, number 18, Charles Jolie. At the center position for the Sooners, number 98, Ray Wilson. At left defense, number 26, Luke White. At right defense, number 6, Tyler Lazarek. And in the nets today for the Sooners, number 35, Phil Babb. The head coach is Josh Burge.
Wanting him more than anybody against us. They can say what they want now. 'Cause we'll be screaming now. We can be heroes everywhere we go. We can have all that we ever want. Swinging like
And ladies and gentlemen, here come your Arizona Wildcats. And ladies and gentlemen, and veterans out there, here is the starting lineup for your Arizona Wildcats. Starting at left wing, number 15, Anthony Cusinelli. At right wing, number 12, Chris Westland. At the center position for your Cats, number 11, Bailey Marshall. At left defense, number 20, Manny Rowe. At right defense, number 9, Cameron Timor. And in the nets for your Wildcats, number 34, Nolan Bivolsik. The head coach of your Wildcats is Chad Berman. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you please rise, face the south goal for today's national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rugged red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Ladies and gentlemen, your referee for today's contest is
All right, and we are getting set to go here from Tucson Arena as the University of Arizona Wildcats hosting the University of Oklahoma Sooners. Back-to-back matchups, back-to-back matinee matchups for these two teams, and each playing its third game in as many days. Oklahoma started off up in Phoenix, made the trip down yesterday and today, and then U of A's been home for all three games this weekend. Will Harmon joining me here in the color position. And Will, big game. I know yesterday we talked about in the pregame show a little bit the intensity and maybe the disappointment and frustration on Oklahoma's part and the need to get off to a good start for Arizona. What are you circling right now here for this opening face-off for each side?
Well, I think if you're Oklahoma, it's more the same almost. So we saw O'Day get into some really good spots yesterday. Wilson as well, number 98 there for Oklahoma. He was getting into some really good places offensively. I think for them, it's just capitalize on the opportunities that they have in the zone, and then make sure to stay out of the penalty box as well. Those penalties kind of killed them a little bit yesterday. And if you're Arizona, make sure you're killing off all those penalties as well.
Arizona does push right in with a shot blocked in front off throw. Man, there's Cusinelli with a shot, and the save made by Babb, getting the nod again here this afternoon. Coming right back for Oklahoma, it's Nolan Bivolsik in net for the Wildcats here as we start things off. And the Wildcats in the camo jersey. Shot coming in for the point by Timor, tipped over top of the goal. And the puck ends up in behind the net. Good first shift here for the Wildcats, but now the Sooners looking to break through center. A pass off the heel of O'Day's skates. That's pushed in onside. Oklahoma up left wing on the forecheck. Timor putting it up the wall, turned it over. Here's Wilson in, left point, fanned on it. And now a chance for the Wildcats to go the other way. A lead on the left wing side to Meyer. Meyer cutting in, tried to go backhand. That's pushed away into the far side corner. And Oklahoma will chip it back out to center. Well, I imagine one of the things that you don't want to see if you're Chad Berman is trading chances up and down the ice with this Oklahoma squad because, as you mentioned, led by O'Day, they've got some speed.
Yeah, and they did a good job yesterday of bumping them off the blue line and making sure that they weren't getting in too many chances. We did see the goal actually come from an opportunity like that. But definitely, if you're Arizona, you want to make sure that you're back checking well and making sure that they're bumping them off the blue line as well and not giving them too much space coming across center ice there.
Just 1:16 gone here in this first period between Arizona and Oklahoma. Face off to the right of Bavalsic. Puck is down. Oklahoma controlling towards the left point, but it scoots out past Bickford. He'll have to chase it back. Bouncing around at center, and again the Sooners trying to regroup, but they lose the possession again. The Wildcats stepping up. Gotti throwing a hit on the near side. Puck ends up behind the Sooners' goal. Arizona trying to finish its checks early here. Always a good sign, a way to bring energy to the team. Get those hits out there early on. Turned over at the Wildcat line. Arizona, one thing you might like to see in for a younger player, Matthew Hull there, just kind of chipped it out. Not a bad play, safe play, but maybe even communication from his teammates let him know, hey, you got an extra second there. Take a look before you just get rid of it.
Yeah, he's a guy whose name we haven't really mentioned a whole lot, and but he's been really solid in his sophomore year now, playing a lot of really big defensive minutes on that blue line. He's been really solid for this squad, especially on the defensive end.
Well, Bavalsic decided to step out, short-circuit an icing that would have been against Oklahoma. And now U of A finding itself hemmed in its own end. Larson on the far side steps out of a check with the puck on the far wall, trying to get rid of it, tied up over there. Hedgecote got it back towards Larson, diving poke, and it is at least moved out to center. Decker making his way up, just flips one in on goal. Babb will glove and hang on to. We are 2:39 into the first period, no scoring yet. Yesterday, Oklahoma got the early goal. Then Arizona put up 3 of its own, and, well, it kind of got dicey from there. The game, we didn't see any penalties in the first, didn't see any until really late in the second, but by then, things had kind of started to get out of hand a little bit.
Yeah, Arizona is really good at actually being a resilient team. We've actually seen them a surprising amount go down either 1 or 2 goals and be able to fight back into games. It's one of those things where, they're always confident and they never get their head down despite what the scoreline is.
Oklahoma pushing in, looking for a chance on the left side. Pard with an off-angle shot. That ramps all the way up to the right point. A bouncing puck fed through traffic and swung towards the net, tipped away to the near corner. Arizona looking to clear the zone here, wedged high in the air. They'll get it back out at least to neutral ice and throw on the shoulder out there. Dawson Marshall play proceeds into the zone. Again, an easy shot from the wing, glove by Babb. But you like to see the energy here up and down the lineup, and I think so far, now that we've kind of gone through all the lines here and just a little over 3 minutes into it, I think we've seen a nice start from the Wildcats.
Yeah, they kind of, over the past couple of games, have really started off a little sluggish. It's good to see them spend some time in the Oklahoma zone, and they're doing well defensively to kind of feed off any of those offensive chances that Oklahoma has.
Oklahoma pushes ahead off the faceoff, however. Now dumping on into the Wildcats' end of things. Here's Gotti stepping up on the forecheck, got bumped in behind the play. Nothing coming out of that. Now quickly back up the right side. Here comes Bailey Marshall driving into the backhand. His shot, Babb the save, solid, and he holds on. And these shots are not going to beat a goaltender like Babb. You're kind of getting pucks in, but at least you're forcing that offensive zone draw, and you try to generate from there.
Yeah, and you're kind of hoping to get maybe a rebound or one of those kind of tricklers that we saw yesterday as well. It's always good to get the puck on net for sure.
Oklahoma will control. And Sooners so far pretty good in the faceoff circle here in the early going, but a turnover side of the net. Marshall in front. He stopped on the post. Puck to the point. Timor bouncing shot punched away by the blocker of Babb. Dicey moments there for Oklahoma after the turnover. They're able to at least get the puck out of the zone. Gotti chipping in on the left wing side. And now they'll try the forecheck pressure here. But the Wildcats again out with the puck. Boy, those turnovers, especially in front of your net, so dangerous. Just over 4 gone by here in the first. Scoreless between Arizona and Oklahoma. Wildcats won the first meeting yesterday afternoon. Another matinee start here for these two clubs. Here's Rowe looking up the right side for the Wildcats. Puck is tipped on in. Babb will step behind the net to play it away on the backhand up the far side. at the left point. That is kept in by Hole and pinned up on the hash marks. Pile forming over there. Puck is underneath a couple of players. Oklahoma able to pull it out and flip it onto the zone. And the Wildcats trying to turn it back the other way, turn it over at center instead. Cutting in is Bickford, long wrister, and Pavalsik, the glove save. So the chances that we have seen so far, Will, have pretty much been long-range chances, and not a lot of trouble for either goaltender.
Yeah, both goalies have some good vision right now. Probably the best chance that we saw of the game was that Bailey Marshall kind of crashed the net. Puck kind of hopped over Cusinelli's stick there. He might want to have that one back, but definitely the best chance of the game so far came for the Wildcats.
Well, that was a good one for White from the slot right off that draw win, and now another chance. There's a shot off the bar and into the netting. Oh my, that was so close from right in the slot area, and suddenly Oklahoma puts back-to-back chances up.
Yeah, you can't really give them the room that they were just giving them there in the slot, kind of right in front of the goal there. If they keep letting that happen, that's going to be some trouble for Arizona defensively.
5:03 gone in the first. Scoreless between Arizona and Oklahoma. One back, White a shot again, and Pavalsik the save. Down in the butterfly, hanging on for yet another draw to his right.
Something else I want to highlight in this game as well, they're not only going for the sweep from Thursday to Saturday on this homestand, they're actually going for...
a floater in by White as the puck came back on the point, and he let the wrister go. I believe that deflected off someone in front there, Will. Not sure if it was a Wildcat defender or not. I think it was. And if so, White's going to get credit for the goal. But Oklahoma gets a bounce early, and at 5:09, they're on the board first.
Yeah, Pavalsik didn't really quite see that one. Definitely have a deflection of some sort. But here we are again, Arizona down 1-0, a place that they have been and a place that they have been able to come back from and really bring the fight back. So you hope that they are able to do that as well.
The assist goes to number 98, Ray Wilson. That's White from Wilson. Time of the Oklahoma goal, 5 minutes, 9 seconds in the first period.
Well, and just as you were talking about, the goaltenders that had pretty good vision so far on those chances, the one that Pavalsik doesn't see is the one that gets in there. So that underscores your point even more. So White from Wilson. It did go off a UA defender on the way through there. Will there be icing here? No, that is beaten out on the left wing side. Meyer hustling up, fed it towards the point. Timor keeping it in for a moment. And now it's tossed back out to center.
And what I was saying before that goal was scored, Arizona is going for a series sweep, a season sweep on the Oklahoma schools. They won all 3 games on the road against Central Oklahoma and these Sooners here. So if they go 6-0 against the Oklahoma schools, that puts them pretty much in a stronghold for the WCHL title.
And while it's early in the season, it's never too early to be on top.
Right.
You always want to make sure you can beat those teams, especially tough teams. Oklahoma, this is a tough matchup for the Wildcats.
Yeah, they have a lot of good skaters out there. Obviously, a guy that we highlighted, Wilson as well, who picked up an assist on that
Here's
goal.
a break moving in and diving out with the poke check. Babby lost the puck. Turnaround chance off the defenseman and onto the top of the net. Oh, my. Bickford saved a goal right there. Bickford bailed out Babb, who was successful on the poke check, then lost the rebound, and the shot went off Bickford and nested on top of the goal. Do you believe that?
That was for Babb, the Babb that we saw yesterday. I feel like that was a little bit out of character for him to come out and risk that one like that. Fortunate for Oklahoma to stay up a goal here.
And Larson, I think when he saw Babb coming out, if nothing else, it distracted him a little bit from his pursuit of the puck. But, oh my, a great chance that Bickford absolutely just bailing out that Oklahoma squad with that defensive stop in the crease. Now the Sooners try to move it ahead themselves. That reminds me, every kid playing street hockey goalie when they're growing up. You know, you throw yourself in front of one like that and you take the tennis ball or whatever you're playing with and deflect it away. You feel pretty good. Oklahoma trying to toss it in, knocked down by a high stick here. And play continues as Oklahoma with the touch. Left siders White feeding it into the left wing corner. 1-0 Oklahoma in the lead. Arizona trying to clear the zone. White keeps it in again. Steps down towards the dot. He's hooked up. Penalty coming against the Wildcats here. Exactly 7 minutes into the first, and Oklahoma leading at 1-0 now has the game's first power play.
And for how much we were complimenting Arizona for about the first 4 or 5 minutes here, they really kind of fell back a little bit, picked up a penalty, gave up a goal, obviously. But again, we get to see that great penalty kill from the Wildcats again. They were successful in all of them yesterday, and you hope to see more of that today.
Looks like that is Decker into the box for the slashing call. Oklahoma, did they keep it in? No, they did not. It was finally poked out over the line by Bailey Marshall. And offside the call.
After 2 minutes for slashing. Time of that penalty, 7 minutes in the first period.
So it is Trey Decker slashing the call, exactly 7 minutes in here. First power play of the game does come in the first period today. We did not see that yesterday. A couple of calls that could have been made that weren't, and then things degenerated a bit, but maybe we'll see a little bit more even game today. Oklahoma pushing ahead out of its own zone on the faceoff, and they go offside again. This one will not go all the way down because it's not ruled intentional. The last one ended up in the Sooners' end because of the intentional nature of the offside. Arizona wearing the camo jerseys today. A couple of number changes to tell you about, and one of which Kevin Bird is wearing number 2 today. And so if you see a number 2 instead of his usual number 4. And then there's another one. I'll have to track that down in a minute here. We're back to action, but I believe Wade is wearing 22 today. As that puck is played ahead for Arizona on the right side. They try to chip it ahead, but stolen up. And here comes Oklahoma on the rush. Bickford trying to lead the way into the right side. Oklahoma really hasn't set up much on this power play yet. Here's Wilson. He'll get it up top. White gets it right back, middle of the blue line. Bickford, left point, feeding it over to the right side now on the half wall. Back up top, White, middle of the blue line. Bickford, near circle shot, tipped on the way through and knocked over to the corner. 1 minute to go in the man advantage for Oklahoma. They lead 1-0. Here's Wilson cutting across to his right. Left it off at the blue line, but right between the D. I don't care how fancy the no look is. If nobody's there for it, it doesn't count. Now White steps in on goal. A shot left pad save Bavalsik as he got the leg out and stopped White, who tried to atone for the previous mistake and almost did.
Just an excellent rush to the net there, and right before that sort of unforced error that forced him out of the zone there briefly. Arizona was fortunate to have that as well because they were kind of getting work there for a little bit from the passing of Oklahoma.
Pard trying to put it in behind the net. It's swung around the dasher. Down the ice it goes. Lazarick racing back for it. He will get there first. 13 seconds left to go in the man advantage for Oklahoma. They'll bring it in one more time. Pard, a heavy shoulder, but he got the shot off. A little slow to get up, but he's all right. And Bivalsik made the save. Puck to the left point. That across onto the right side. Another wrister coming in, blocked, and out of the box. It's back to full strength, but a bouncing puck in front is shoved away to the far side corner. Dawson Marshall trying to move it ahead at center. That one is fed on in. Babb will put the paddle down and leave it aside as Arizona had pulled out to go for the change.
And another penalty kill there from Arizona. They've been excellent on the penalty kill this season.
Coming into the game at 94% on the penalty kill. Just unbelievable. 19% on the power play, but 94% on the kill. That is absolutely crazy. But it's one of those things that even yesterday after the game, Chad Berman said, you know what, we're good at it, but we don't want to rely on it. You certainly don't want to keep ending up in the box. We're approaching the halfway mark of period number 1. Oklahoma with a 1-0 lead as the puck ends up in the Sooners bench area. And so after that penalty kill, sometimes you can get a momentum swing here, and I think Arizona needs to go back to pushing the game the way they did in the opening couple of minutes here, being physical, finishing those checks.
Yeah, definitely the penalty kill there always feeds them into energy and maybe more back into what they were for the first couple minutes of this game, and definitely finishing checks and make sure they're back checking and forward checking well.
Oklahoma, again, pushing it ahead off the faceoff. They've been pretty successful with that so far here in the first period. We didn't see a whole lot of it yesterday, but today definitely pushing that puck ahead, so maybe they figured something out. Gotti tying it up on the left side for the Sooners, trying to keep the puck along the wall. Pulled out by Johansson. Off the glass, gets it out to center. Now the Wildcats trying to step up, and now we get a penalty coming. As spilled down to the ice in the neutral zone, Justin Dungy got knocked down. Elbowing will be the call. And so now Arizona will find its first power play of the afternoon here.
And talk about a momentum swing the other way. Just a couple minutes ago they killed off a penalty, and now they're going on the power play here, especially for a team that hasn't had too much action on the offensive end since the first opening minutes of the game. This could be a huge kickstart for this team.
Nicholas Gotti. 2 minutes for Elbowing.
Chance of the empty net, a backhand, they score! Bailey Marshall picked up a rebound off the dasher. Babb was out to his right, could not get back into the net in time. A very quick power play strike for the Wildcats ties this game up at 1.
And just like that, I mean, we've seen them score a couple times on the power play just by simply winning that face-off and getting control of the puck right away. We've had a couple goals by them where they just scored right away on that power play.
And that one looked like a set play. It looked, Will, like they threw it wide of the net on one side.
Goal, give it to number 11, Bailey Marshall. The assist goes to number 15, Anthony Cusinelli. That's Marshall from Cusinelli. Time of your Wildcat power play goal, 10 minutes, 29 seconds in the first period.
Oklahoma with the puck back in the UA zone, but a set play there. Cusinelli throws it wide of the net, and Babb overplayed that. He went out to his right a little far looking for what he thought was a shot, and when it ricocheted around to the near side, Marshall put it home. Now up the left wing, here's a chance pushing in. Westland, who had a pair yesterday. Puck tied up in the corner, and Westland tied up in the slot, couldn't get a shot off. Now Oklahoma able to backhand out to center. They'll attack on the right wing side. Brown in with a shot. Pavalsik the save. Rebound knocked away to the corner. Wildcats clear. They will get to the stripe at center. Toss it deep. Go for the change. 8:40 to go in the first. Game tied at 1. Oklahoma's bank pass through center. Didn't find anybody. And Arizona will just flip one back to the Sooner line. Hand pass whistled down with 8:23 here in the first. Oklahoma scored first, an even strength goal from White, but a power play marker from Bailey Marshall at 10:29 has tied this game up.
Same scoreline we had at the end of the first yesterday. Kind of similar in feel as well to the game yesterday. Kind of a little bit of back and forth. Both teams have had some scoring chances, and Arizona now kind of been on more of the offensive here.
Well, you hate to say you're comfortable playing with a deficit, but the Wildcats seem comfortable playing with a deficit.
Yeah, they don't let it get to their head. It's the mentality kind of thing. They know that their chances are going to come. They know that they are going to be able to have opportunities to take advantage of, and they like to stay very calm and level-headed instead of let things kind of get out of control.
And now we get a whistle and possible injury down here to the left side. There was a collision in the corner. Oklahoma had two players up on the forecheck. I think that's Zachary Pard, maybe. Hard to see a number from here, but he stayed down on the ice. Puck ended up underneath him, and then the whistle went. Boy, it is, for both of these teams, a bit of the walking wounded. And the injury list keeps getting longer for Arizona, but Oklahoma as well. D'Souza not in the lineup today. He left the game yesterday. And also, we should mention, actually a suspension handed out for two players not playing today. Isaac Bossy for Oklahoma and Ethan Stallhuth for Arizona. They got into a fight. And so at the college level, and this is ACHA, this is not NCAA, it's different. But when you get into a fight, you get 5 in a game, and then you're gone for the next game as well. So those two not dressed for their respective clubs.
Yeah, and then just adding into all of it, the 3 games in 3 days, throw in a couple afternoon matinee games as well. I mean, your body just aches a little bit more when those kind of things are happening. And now, I mean, obviously with the fight and certain penalties, but, you know, when you're going flying into the boards or something and you're on your 3rd day of hockey in a row with high competitive hockey, I mean, sometimes those legs aren't always there, and the boards can really attack you in almost an aggressive way sometimes.
Yeah, and they still are tending to part down on the ice here, but, you know, it ties into the point we were making in the pregame show, too, of, number one, depth all through the roster, but especially at the goaltending position, because you can't expect your number one netminder to play every single game all season long when often you're playing 3-3, especially if there's travel. And Hart is up on his skates, being helped off the ice by his teammates, favoring that left leg as he goes. We hope that he's okay. But again, I mean, the depth through the roster, and you might wonder, you know, sometimes and it's funny, when I was talking with Chad Berman a little bit before the game, he said, well, we took this guy as our 30th guy. And you're like, wow, 30 on a hockey roster. But over the course of a season, especially in a scholastic setting, things happen, injuries happen, guys might be unavailable academically, all kinds of things can reach up and sabotage you. So you really do need a deeper roster.
And then going back on that note to the goal, from Bailey Marshall and Cusinelli, you always expect that out of that line, but it's one of those things to expect it and then rely on it. So I don't think this team definitely relies on the production of that top line. They go pretty much 4 lines deep, and a lot of these guys can definitely skate and hold up to the level that top line with Cusinelli really the standard holds there.
Well, and as we were talking about in the pregame show too, yet another pregame show point coming to pass here is you know, what that line needed to do and leading by example. And even though they're on the power play unit that scores that goal, still, I mean, that's the responsibility of those guys as the upperclassmen. Puck on a play in the Arizona zone with 7:38 to go in the first period. 1-1 tie between the Wildcats and the Sooners. Draw to the left of Bavalsic. Tom Callahan, Will Harmon here with you. Thanks for joining us this afternoon from Tucson Arena. And again, you can see right there, they whistled that faceoff down, but Raymond Wilson was going to go right ahead through the center. Josh Larson on that play. The Wildcats really need to be aware of that. That is exactly what Oklahoma's been doing, and doing successfully here in this first period. Arizona does end up with the puck and is able to clear up the right side, and now trying to catch up to the puck on the wing. Centering Larson, there's a shot, pad save, bad rebound. Back into the near side corner. Plum off, sending it behind the net. It's picked up over there by Markowski. He can't get it out. Ends up back on the near wing. And out to center. Here's Brown. Brown feeding it ahead. Left off in the high slot. Brown cutting to his right. Lost the handle. Puck ends up in the corner. Larson attacking up the left wing for the Wildcats. Trying to drive wide on Markowski. Gets around him. Cutting in front. Puck loose and sent away to the corner. Right half wall. Puck is kept in. Plumhoff sending it behind the net. Wildcats trying to grab a change in behind the play, and Oklahoma breaks the zone. O'Day will flip in off the left side glass into the near corner. 6:36 to go in the first. Game tied at 1. Here's Manny Rose spinning away from the forecheck, feeding it back over to the far side. Hustling back down there is Kevin Bird. He'll feed it back across. Rowe off the glass. That one out to center. Fired back in. And tossed behind the net. Bavalsic, Rowe, backhand up the left wing. Ends up out at center. Cusinelli could handle it, but now Bailey Marshall with it. Marshall trying to drive wide on the left side. Rubbed out on the glass. Still got the puck across, however. Turnaround chance. That did not get through. Cusinelli ended up with a legitimate scoring opportunity. Just couldn't get the shot away. Oklahoma will chip it back in and go for the change. So we've got a little bit of flow to the pace here, I think. Each team going back and forth. But again, I don't know if you're Arizona, you want to keep trading chances end to end.
Yeah, they had a sort of a line match there with their top line with Westland and Cusinelli and Marshall up against the line of O'Day and number 98 Wilson, who is also flying today as well. He's had some really great shifts today for Oklahoma.
Shot for the left point is blocked, comes onto the near side, and it'll be cleared out. A roller down the ice, not enough gas for icing. Bickford looping out behind his net, watched by Dawson Marshall. They'll go back up the right wing side, leading it ahead is Moran. Fire that one into the near side corner. Moran up on the forecheck here. Puck tied up in the half wall. To the point, not out. Now it's out. And the Sooners trying to quickly regroup here as Arizona trying to get a change, and they only get a partial. Pushed back up that far side. Dawson Marshall can't clear. Ends up back behind the Wildcat net, now into the far corner. Moved around the rim. Dawson Marshall backhands it off the glass and just missed his own bench. And, well, now they do whistle it. They say it went off the curved partition. And so we'll get a break. 4:30 left to go here in the first. Arizona and Oklahoma tied up at 1.
Save up to 20% on single game ticket prices. Bear down and reach higher. And the Wildcats would like to welcome first timer Fox Stews. Fox Stews, first timer at the Wildcats game.
Draw will be to the left of Bavalsic. Well, you'd like to see, I think Arizona's finished their period strong lately. I would like to see them put on another push here. And, you know, if you go in with that lead, yesterday we talked about how they went in having just tied it and trying to take the momentum from that. But, boy, if you grab a lead here, different story.
Oh, yeah. I mean, obviously you grab momentum from that as well, but it's definitely just an overall different mood going into the locker room up 1 as opposed to tied. And sort of, as we mentioned, same scoreline yesterday through 1 at the current moment. Kind of a little bit of a different story, though, I feel like, as far as the actual gameplay is concerned. I think Oklahoma has had some good chances, but they aren't necessarily dominating the puck possession like we saw yesterday.
Agreed. I think that this is definitely a better showing in the first period by Arizona, who, I mean, we've seen it all season. They just get stronger as the game goes. It's the starts that have been a little troubling. Right now, the Sooners on the regroup. 3:34 to go in the first, tied at 1. Oklahoma stepping up right wing side. Here's O'Day driving on the backhand, curls off onto the right side, up to the hash marks, to the dot, wrist shot, missed the net. Wraps its way around, and that one goes all the way back out to center. Lazaric moving it onto the left wing, chipped in. Jolie in behind the net. O'Day up, throwing the shoulder on the forecheck there. Puck tied up on the far side. Scoots Rita Larson. He tries to move it away. Ends up out at center. Wildcats again on the regroup here. Larson tried to tip the pass onto the right side. That'll be flipped in by Westland. And now Larson overskates the puck in the slot. Ends up at the left point. Wrist shot coming in. And that one is blocked in front as Finch hit the deck. Took that one away. Back the other way, Poussar sending it wide to the net onto the right side. Finch trying to track it over on the wing. Gotti feeding it up top. Walsh at the left point, he'll send it down low, and that's number 16, Michael Walsh. Finch cycles it around to the left half wall, chance in front, tip just wide of the net. Boy, a good pass there by Gotti towards that back post, and Finch was just tied up enough that he couldn't redirect it on goal. Larson still struggling to get the puck out. Finally, it's over the line, and Arizona needs a change here. They're going to get it. Quickly sent back in, however, by Oklahoma, who I think smelling a little bit of blood in the water here.
Yeah, they've put together a couple good shifts and some pucks gotten in some good zones and good areas there. Arizona, they'll bring in the fight back.
Bailey Marshall tried to get through a couple of players on the left side, but finally couldn't get through everybody. Brown coughs it up going the other way, however, and Arizona will try to attack once again. Marshall cutting back, but the puck poked off his stick. And now the Sooners wheeling back inside their own end. Into the left wing side. Wilson reaching back for it, can't come up with it. And now Arizona with a chance to attack here, 3-on-3. Up in the right wing, Marshall tried to scoop one through. That one was blocked, ends up in behind the net. Around to the left point, Timor will hold it in on the backhand, curling from the wing. Wrist shot, blocker save Babb on that one by Cusinelli. Wilson tried to backhand it out, hit Marshall in the shins. Marshall keeping it on the blue line. And now Raymond Wilson's going to wheel back all the way behind his own net, pursued by Cusinelli, who's all over him. That allows Arizona to get a change. 1 minute to go in the period. This game is tied up at 1, and now we got a penalty coming. That's going to be against Oklahoma. There was contact to the head there, it looked like, of Alex Johansson. And so Oklahoma, with 55.5 left, is going to be shorthanded.
And it's going against Raymond Wilson here, a guy who I had briefly mentioned is having a great first period. Don't like to see a guy who's skating as well as that go into the penalty box right before the end of the period here if you're an Oklahoma coach.
Well, and consider that at this point, Arizona 1 for 1 on the power play, and they scored quickly on that power play opportunity. Cross-checking the official call, by the way, at 19:04. Draw one back, controlled by Arizona.
Wilson,
Shot
two
from the
back
slot,
to
they
the
score!
top.
A seeing eye wrister from Jesse Lowell sneaks in through the wickets on Babb. And Arizona, again, another very quick power play goal. They take a 2-1 lead. We're going to have to stop playing the penalty announcements.
I was going to say,
I'm just gonna jump
at this
in
point,
over,
At this
yeah.
point, yeah, just goals are being scored. And again, like we had mentioned, yesterday they had that goal right leading into the period, and we had maybe thought of maybe they get another one late here. We did just see that. 2-1 here now, headed right into the intermission for the Wildcats. That's absolutely huge for them going down a goal, like we said yesterday as well.
Well, now they can't sit back. Oklahoma pushing ahead on the left wing side. Here's Pusar cutting it on goal. Save made by Pabalsik. And the puck loose on the near side. Here's Jolie with it. He feeds it over to the right wing. A shot tipped in front. They score. Boy, there it is. Pusar was right in the crease area and tipped it in. And I would not be surprised if there was a little bit of an argument from the Wildcats bench, maybe for some goaltender interference, but a critical strike for Oklahoma. They knot it right back up at 2 with 32.6 seconds left.
Yeah, I got a little too ahead of myself there, I think. Now we're knotted right back up at 2. Great shift there from Oklahoma to really just end the period on a high note as compared to yesterday, where it wasn't necessarily like that.
Well, that's always the danger. You have to guard against that. You don't want it to come right back at you, and that's what Oklahoma did. They pushed back, but now Arizona's got time. Marshall in with a shot, and the save bad.
25, Trey Decker. The assist goes to number 13, Matthew Hull, and number 9, Cameron Timor. That's Decker from Hull and Timor. Time of the Wildcat power play goal, 19 minutes, 5 seconds in the first period.
Right off the faceoff, Wildcats take it ahead, and Babb has to make another save and hold on. You're going to see a ton of scoring here before we get to the intermission. 16.3 seconds left. It's 2-2 right now. Could be 6-6 by the time we get there.
And when goals were so hard to come by yesterday, we already got 4 here in the first period.
And again, you know, we talk about fatigue. Is that a factor here? Third game in 3 days for these teams. Wildcats control again. The draw shot from the point, tipped wide.
Pusser. Give the assist to number 24, Cam Bickford. That's Pusser from Bickford. Time of the Oklahoma goal, 19 minutes, 28 seconds in the first period.
And so the puck is tossed back into the Oklahoma zone. That's going to do it for the period. And so 12-10 the shots in favor of Oklahoma in that opening frame. But boy, what a first period, especially what an end to the first period as just the back and forth, it's crazy. Number one, how fast Arizona scored on both their power plays within seconds of face-off wins, both times for Arizona. But then Oklahoma doesn't sit back and is not content to go into the locker room down by a goal. They push in really quickly, and quite frankly, Arizona was caught a bit on their heels. And we end up with a 2-2 tie after 20 minutes.
Yeah, especially when the first beginning of the game there, definitely the first half of the period, felt a little bit more like yesterday, kind of each team feeling each other out a little bit. Scoring chances here and there, but and then just within the last 5 minutes, just flurries of goals there by both sides. And you mentioned the set plays off the face-off on both those power plays. That's something we've kind of seen from Arizona. They've had some really great face-off set plays, specifically on the power play, and they're able to take advantage of those here this afternoon. If I'm Oklahoma on that coaching staff, that's definitely a point of emphasis in this intermission.
We are tied at 2 after the opening 20 minutes. White and Pusar for Oklahoma. Bailey, Marshall, and Decker, both power play goals for Arizona. The Wildcats 2 for 2 on the power play. Oklahoma 0 for 1. Shots 12-10 in favor of the Sooners. We're going to take a quick break. We'll come right back with more Arizona Wildcats hockey.
I'm Timothy Gasson. They call me the AZ Puckman. I've been following hockey at the University of Arizona for more than 30 years. And this is my Wildcat Hockey Report.
Welcome back to the Wildcat Hockey Report. I'm with Nolan Bivalsik, goaltender for the Arizona Wildcats. And Nolan, first of all, this is going to be your junior year here. Can you talk a little bit about your development from your freshman year to now? You're becoming a more complete hockey player. What has helped you in your development as a goaltender here at the U of A?
Well, my freshman year, obviously, I was more of a third string goalie, trying to make my way into second string. Definitely working on just really getting my routine down and really just getting set during practice and stuff. And when I got the opportunity to play, I was obviously giving my fullest effort in the game. Last year, I ended up playing a lot more games than I was expected to, and it really gave me more confidence on the ice. And then this year, I just hope to maybe take over that first string role, but definitely back up Churro and see what we do.
Now, every hockey player goes through a lot of training, but for a goaltender, is there anything that can really replicate game action? Do you really grow as a goaltender through game action?
No, it's more of like fine-tuning during the games. Practice is really where we want to focus and just kind of get set on our angles and just make sure that we're always square to the puck. But then once we get in the game, it's just really more of experiencing that practice that we've had.
So you're one of the goaltenders who believes you play as well as you practice. I've talked to goaltenders who don't like practice at all, and they're saving everything for the game. But a lot of Hall of Fame goaltenders believe you play in a game as well as you practice. So you believe in that?
Yes, yeah, I do.
So do you have any set goals for this year, Nolan?
I think as a team goal, we definitely want to be at the top. Personally, I think I want to be in that top 5 of top goaltenders in the league, and just really try to push myself and Churro just to be the top goalies in the league.
Fabulous. Well, we've been talking with junior goaltender Nolan Bivalsic. Thanks, Nolan, and go Cats.
Thank you.
There's another goal. That's a beautiful tip in by Tyler Griffith. That's Ethan Scaluth with the goal. There's a shot to goal. Arizona takes the lead. Anthony Cusinelli with the backhander. He shoots. He scores. Your Arizona Wildcats, champions of the Cactus Cup.
I'm Autumn Freutland, and I'm here with Bailey Marshall. Bailey, reflecting a little bit on last season, you had a great season, 74 points, MVP, but that was last season. Now we're in this season. Are you doing anything different? What are some things that you're working on to kind of make this season almost or better than last season?
Haven't really been able to get on the ice much this summer, so really trying to focus on just getting back into the swing of things, getting my shot right, making sure that I'm getting a little more endurance. So right now I'm working on that so that I can get back into how I was doing last season.
There is another Marshall on this team. He is related to you. His name is Dawson. That is your younger brother. So talk a little bit about what it's like to have a brother on the team. Are there any rivalries? Is he in the locker room trying to fight with you all the time, trying to maybe be better? What's that all about?
Yeah, no, last year was actually our first season playing together, and it was pretty awesome. If you watch the games, me and Dawson penalty kill together a lot of the times, and we definitely do well. We mesh well out there in the penalty kill for that. Other than that, I'd say he looks up to me as a bigger brother and on the ice just to kind of try and compete with me a little bit during practice and stuff like that. But yeah, we definitely enjoy penalty killing together, and I think we do a pretty good job of that as well.
So he obviously looks up to you. So what are some advice that you give him to kind of, move on, and some things that you tell him?
Yeah, just kind of he's just got to keep working and make sure that he's playing his role and not to try and be a player that he's not. He's pretty good grinding in the corners and just plays his role as a fourth line kind of guy and penalty killer really well. So just try and not be anybody else and just play how he should be playing.
We've been talking with Bailey Marshall, and we will be right back with more of the Wildcat Hockey Report.
I am Will Harmon here with sophomore defenseman Matthew Hull. Matthew, pretty big season last year as a freshman. What have you done differently to try and continue that momentum going into now your sophomore year?
Mostly just my confidence, just getting used to, last year was pretty big stepping in, but I think this year being more confident on the blue line and just playing like I regularly do.
And you're a St. Louis guy, Stanley Cup champions last year. What would it be like for the University of Arizona Wildcats to win the championship this year?
Winning a championship would be amazing, but right now we're just focused on each game at a time, and getting to the national championship is definitely the first step. WCHL conference championship is also another step, but not really looking towards that at first. But yeah, it would definitely be amazing. Yeah.
I've been with Matthew Hull, and now we are sending it back to the Wildcat Hockey Report.
It's time for another Arizona Wildcat Hockey This or That.
Okay, I feel like this one's a little obvious. Mustache or beard?
Muzzies.
Why?
Better style, and I try to look my best.
Does anything ever get stuck?
Yeah, when I eat a sandwich, I have to like lift the upper lip up so I don't eat hairs.
Bench or penalty box?
As of recently, it's been penalty box.
Why?
I'm not meaning to. I've just been a little too physical.
Okay. USA or Canada?
USA.
Why?
It's where I've lived my whole life.
Friends or The Office?
The Friends.
Why?
It's the OG before The Office.
Okay. Morning or a night person?
Night.
Why?
Waking up just isn't my thing.
Warm-up time. Hello, Tucson, Arizona. Hiya, Joe. Have a good one, guys. Have a good one. Work hard.
Gets going. Let's take a look at the south.
All right, fellas, have a good one now. Keep him down. Let's go. Nah. Up easy. Too many men here.
I know in the past you've talked about trying to create a cooperative atmosphere on the ice between yourself, the teams, and the coaching staffs. Talk about your approach to officiating what can be a very difficult game.
Well, certainly at this level, you've got guys that know the game, and basically they know you. You've been working with them for 2, 3, 4 years, and you get a rapport with them. I don't have any animosity toward anybody at this level. They know what I expect, and they do their job, and I do my job, and everybody's happy.
Hey,
let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Shut up! Shut up!
up!
So we're getting even? All right, cool. I like it.
We have 10 feet from our boards.
No, you don't.
We don't?
No.
No?
No, you have to be at the bench.
I'm sorry?
You have to be at the bench. Go 10 feet. Your goaltender does. Your goaltender's got 10 feet if you're going to pull the goaltender. That's sure. Yeah, you bet. Anytime. Well, I think went rather well. Stick down, stick down, stick down. Let's go, move it, move it. That's all, that's all. Easy in front now, easy in front. I got it loose, let's go. Move it, move it. It's loose. Nothing so far, let's go. Get a clue. You want to go for 10?
Arizona State goal by number 8, Jason.
You guys gotta start calling some of that, huh? What's that? Just the blatant, like when we get scoring opportunities taken away. I don't care about the ticky but like cross checks in front and that. Soft hook. Yeah, that was a breakaway. I was watching.
Can't nobody else work with us. Good period. Up, 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 up. No problem there, no problem there. No problem, let him go, 5. Good job, good job. How long you know me? Couple years?
You always knock them. Oh, come on, why did you come over there?
Huh? I would never throw a guy. I wouldn't even throw a guy. Are you kidding me? Come on, that's not enough. Knock it off.
You gotta give him a penalty. He was screwed with our goalie, you saw it.
No, I didn't see it. I was following the puck.
What was he doing?
Yeah. That was a pretty bad cheap shot there.
Was it?
At number 7, he's the guy. Same thing last time we played.
7?
I sat out for 2 weeks because of him. Cheap shots, you know?
I'll watch him. Thanks. That was a pretty good game. Just trying to capture the spirit of the thing.
Your hometown hockey team, your Western Collegiate Hockey League champions, your Arizona Wildcats. Tickets for Arizona hockey are now on sale. Support your Wildcats as they battle ASU for another Cactus Cup championship and more at the Tucson Arena. Your hockey team, your Arizona Wildcats. Call 791-4101 for tickets now.
All right, welcome back to the Tucson Arena, where the Arizona Wildcats and the Oklahoma Sooners are tied up at 2. We'll be beginning the second period here shortly. But before the game, our own Autumn Freutland spoke with Jeff O'Day, the goal scorer of the goal yesterday for the Sooners. Let's head over to that interview right now.
Hi, I'm Autumn Freutland, and I'm here with Jeff O'Day of University of Oklahoma. Now, Jeff, you did have a goal yesterday. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so my coach always tells me to move my feet, so I just made sure to get it up through the middle there so my teammate could pass it to me, and just moved my feet as fast as I could, drove the net, and cut across, and exactly what I was looking for, a goal. So good thing I could get that for the team.
And you guys are playing University of Arizona again today. Now, is there any advantages of playing a team 2 days in a row?
Yeah, so we should learn from our mistakes of what we did yesterday. We were very sloppy in our own D zone, so we watched a little on them, and we just got to improve basically on all our mistakes, make simpler plays, and I think we can come out with a W today if we change our plays.
Well, we've been speaking with Jeff O'Day, and we will send it back to the booth.
All right, thank you, Autumn. Players about to skate out right now for Oklahoma. Looks like the Wildcats are kind of spending a little bit more time in their locker room there. Coming out into the second period here for the Wildcats, I think it's a much bigger deal for them to maybe take more advantage of those even strength opportunities that they have. We saw what they could do off the faceoff on some set plays on the power play, and maybe they have some of that in store as well on even strength play. But as far as generating scoring chances and creating goal scoring opportunities when it's even strength, I think that is going to be a point of emphasis for Arizona. For Oklahoma, I think they should be happy with where they're at. They finished off that period pretty well. Game is tied up at 2 here. A lot of really good shifts, especially from the O'Day and Wilson line for Oklahoma. You'd like to see Arizona maybe do a little bit better, bumping, especially Wilson off the puck. He's gotten himself into some good space.
And so as we get Oklahoma to retake the ice here, Tom Callahan, Will Harmon here with you as we are getting ready to go for period number 2. And, you know, Will, you were just talking about some of the things you want to see. I'm interested to see if Arizona makes an adjustment on the faceoffs because, as we talked about, they were able to push the puck ahead. Sometimes they could blow the zone by doing it. Other times it just led to straight-up opportunities in the offensive zone where a player, say Wilson, taking a draw would step ahead with it and push it towards the net. I think that that's something Arizona has to be extremely aware of here to start play in the second. And I'm going to be curious to see what their strategy is as far as trying to maybe tie the man up, get those wingers in to help you on that faceoff. But a 2-2 tie on our hands. We almost went into intermission at 2-1. And, well, I think the Wildcats a little guilty of maybe putting their head in the locker room before their bodies were in there. And Oklahoma struck late immediately after Arizona notched a power play goal. Sooners come right back. And we go from 1-1 to 2-2.
Yeah, we've seen that a couple times from the Wildcats this season as well. Not necessarily always heading into a period, but maybe right after scoring an important goal. They've kind of been back on their heels for the first shift or two after scoring a goal. It's definitely one of the things that they probably are going to be fine-tuning here for almost the second half of the season now. But overall, I think a good showing from the Wildcats to be down 1-0 again, like we had mentioned, and we come back into this game tied up at 2, leading into the second period here.
Well, and I'm sure Chad Berman always has a lot to say to his troops between periods. And we'll see what the start is like for both of these teams. As the puck down to the Wildcats. And Sooners tied up at 2 here, second game of the weekend between these two. And we just had a scoring change. The goal, I believe, we'll talk about that in just a moment here. As the Oklahoma side, O'Day pushing up on the right wing. Taken away from him and flipped on out to center. 3-on-2. Here come the Wildcats. Marshall into the slot and fed across. And maybe one little extra pass there. Cusinelli electing to pass. Now 3-on-1 the other way. Oklahoma in with a shot and they score. The odd man goes one way, doesn't pan out. Oklahoma blows right back down the ice, going the other direction. And the Sooners take a quick lead here, not even a minute into the second period. It's 3-2.
And for OU, they ended the period well, and they just started this period well also. Now they're back up 3-2. Just a breakout scoring chance with three, maybe even 4-on-1 there going the other way. Timor kind of got caught up in the offensive zone with the pass that kind of went astray. Just one of those plays that Oklahoma took advantage of.
Pusar finishing it off for his second of the afternoon. And the Sooners right in the lead.
Pusser give the assist to number 24, Cam Bickford, and number 18, Charles Jolie. That's Pusser from Bickford and Jolie. Time of the Sooners goal, 46 seconds in the second period.
Bickford with his second helper of the contest. And Oklahoma's got some life. They try to build the momentum, but Arizona able to clear it out. Cutting in for a chance, but had that knocked away there. Meyer couldn't get the shot through. A long attempt whistled wide there. Charlie Wilson wrapped it around the glass to center. Back from the Wildcats. Pass towards the front of the net, and we had a stick dislodge there as Bickford's twig went flying. Puck in the slot, and we get a whistle here. And is that a too many men call? Believe it is. Too many men on the ice against Oklahoma, and so the Wildcats will get a third power play. They are 2 for 2 on the afternoon. And I don't think it's taken them a combined 30 seconds to score those 2 power play goals.
We'll see if OU is more prepared for maybe those set plays. Obviously, if OU just wins a faceoff, that kind of negates that. But we saw both those goals come from set plays out of the faceoff, and especially for Arizona right now, you're kind of been handed a gift here to not tie this game back up at 3. And again, 2 other goals already on the power play, so we'll be excited to see if Arizona can take advantage of this one as well.
And so sitting the penalty will be Charlie Wilson. Arizona the power play, 3rd time tonight. They are 2 for 2. They'll cut in front, a chance, Babs save, rebound, side of the net cleared away. So the Hogan Transportation power play is the first time the Wildcats have not scored on their first foray with it. Here's Cusinelli, left side, a shot block, rebound in front, backdoor chance. Marshall couldn't get it through traffic. Kept in at the right point. Marshall quickly cross ice. Cusinelli, wrist shot, whistled high. Marshall up top, Jones, back to Marshall, switches with him. Jones, cross ice feed picked off by O'Day, and that's cleared. Both teams will switch it up here about halfway through the power play. Wildcats on the rush, up the right side, tipped away. They'll have to regroup once again. Timor trying to feed it on the right side. Lowell pushing in on the right wing, swings it across. Pass tipped away to the corner. Set up top by Westland, right point, walking in with a shot hole, missed the net, wraps its way around the dasher and right back down. Half minute to go in the power play, Oklahoma with a 3-2 lead. Wildcats offside, trying to bring that one back in. Well, you can't score on every power play, I guess, but you can sure hope.
Yeah, and Oklahoma just did a much better job there, too, just kind of breaking up some of the passes and breakout chances on that power play here and getting set up in the zone. Wilson, a guy who I've been talking about a lot on OU, he was out there on that first penalty kill shift, and he was doing great trying to break up some of those D-to-D passes.
Face off just outside the Oklahoma line. Wildcats stepping back in, last gasp here on this power play. Left side circle, Timor looking, tried to get a tip in front, and instead it's directed out of play. See if they keep this face off inside. And indeed they will, to the right of Phil Babb. Credit Oklahoma, the pushback at the end of the first and then the quick start to the second here. They really kind of caught Arizona back on their heels a little.
Yeah, and right when Arizona thought that they had a chance to really take control of this game, Oklahoma came right back, and now everything's going Oklahoma's way.
And now a chance for an odd man break back up the ice at the expiration of the power play, but Pusar ran into a big shoulder there and coughed it up. Back in come the Wildcats. Weaving over, Wade, a shot, save made. Puck is free in front. And in the scramble, it's cleared to the corner. Oklahoma to the line, and it's kept in. Timor tees up, drive, blocker, save, and the rebound now. Oklahoma will get it out of the zone. Jolie pushing up on the right side, his wrister gloved down and held on to by Bavalsic. Oklahoma with the early goal here. By the way, the change in the goal going back to the first period, it was not Decker, it was Lowell, Jesse Lowell, who gets credit for the goal. Power play marker, that was the second of the period for the Wildcats. Marshall playing it up the wall, and now it's cleared on down the ice. A roller, no icing. Bickford facing some forecheck pressure here. Tipped away, and now it is tracked down by Wilson, fed into the right side corner. Wildcats trying to get it out. Timor around the glass. And away to center. Arizona, Marshall. Kuznelli lost it in his skates. Now back the other way. Sooners dump it in. They'll head for the change. As it's chipped out to center. White on it, back inside the Sooners' blue line. Here's Wilson charging through center, cutting to the right side, a shot. Bavalsic, butterfly save, rebound to the near corner. Chipped along the left side, boards, Cusinelli trying to step up on it, and it goes out of play. 5:29 gone here in the second. You know, you might worry, Will, about this Arizona team. Have you not seen them already this year so many times? They give up a lead, they might fall behind, but they just find ways to tie games, take leads, win games. It's kind of uncanny. And again, I'm sure, you know, if you're a coach on this team, it's probably giving you gray hair. You'd like to see them go start to finish, but you know, there's not a lot of panic out there.
Yeah, and it's great to have that kind of calming mindset to make sure the game doesn't, you know, get too out of hand in a way where all of a sudden you're making too many mental mistakes or you're trying to push the puck too much in opportunities where normally you wouldn't. They stick to their game plan really well, and they do a really good job of making sure that even though they're down a goal, doing a lot of the same stuff.
Johansson cutting in. There's a chance in front. Babb, a left pad save, and the net comes off behind him. Now a little conversation over there. If you're Arizona, you want to see more of that. Drive the net. Get to that goal crease area. Make it uncomfortable for Babb and make it difficult to come up with those pucks. Something we haven't seen a whole lot of except on the power play goals. Having a little bit of an issue getting the net reset here. Now we're good. Tied up in the circle. Oklahoma will reverse around to try to clear the zone, but down from the left point to keep it in is Jones. Again, the Sooners with a chance to clear, this time off the glass and out. Jones will start the regroup in his own end, getting it back now, looking up the middle of the ice. Dumped in on the left wing side, and again, the Sooners just clear it right back out. And that one off the top of Jesse Lowell's helmet, didn't see it. Now cut back in right side, a little leave off there, shot, and that's sent wide on the stick side by Rowe, who jumped up into the play. Oklahoma trying to push back with numbers. Fed to the left side, Jolie tried to put it in the slot, turnaround chance coming. Bavalsic, a right pad save there on Moran. Bickford getting it across the ice, swung in around behind the net. Jolie, Gotti couldn't come up with it. Timor away with it. Arizona will dump from center and go for the change. Just past 7 minutes into the second period, 3-2 Oklahoma. Bouncer dumped in. Bavalsic had to make the save, reaching out to poke it away. A bouncing puck that neither he nor O'Day really could come up with. Wildcats dodge a bit of a bullet there. Aggressive on the forecheck here, forcing Babb to play it away. O'Day lead through center ice. Poussard to the right side. Jolie in with a shot blocked. O'Day looking for help in the corner. Still has it in his skates. Well, he's so strong on that puck on the wall. We talk about his speed, but comes out with it in the corner as well more often than not. Oklahoma setting it up. Long shot in, glove down, and going well wide of the net, but I don't blame Bavalsic slowing it down a little.
Yeah, just get a whistle, maybe get a change out here a little bit. Going back, O'Day doing great work on that shift, just holding on to the puck, using his body. Again, we highlighted his pace and his ability to almost stop on a dime too. But yeah, he did a great job there to hold up the puck and really keep the play moving there for Oklahoma.
And you and I were talking in the intermission just off the air, and I mean, you don't realize how big he is until you actually meet him in person.
Yeah, when we went down to interview him there before the game, he's a big guy, and especially for a big guy like that to have the speed that he has and the stick handling that he has, he's a great player here for Oklahoma. We saw some great shifts from him yesterday and today.
An icing call against the Wildcats will put the faceoff back down to the left of Bavalsic. And Oklahoma able to win the draw, and they try to feed it in front. Bavalsic knocked it away with a goal stick. Wildcats push through center. Stretching to move it ahead. Hole lost the handle, fed to the slot, and cleared away to the glass past Larson. At the left point, Hole with a shot blocked off a shin pad towards the right side. Hustling over, trying to keep it in is Jones, but the puck does find its way out to center. Dumped in wide of the Wildcats net by Charlie Wilson, tied up in the far side corner. Jones in that pile. Wilson over trying to help. A little bit of a whack there, nothing called. And now puck turned over. Arizona moving ahead 2-on-2. Here's Marshall driving on the right side, trying to cut in front. Puck was sealed off and held by Babb. Nice job by Babb, had the pad against the post. Really nothing there for Dawson Marshall.
Yeah, and one of those chances too. Arizona again has kind of spent a lot of time defending in their own end. Maybe a chance like that where defender fans on the puck and just kind of leads to a breakout chance there. Maybe it's going to be a play like that for Arizona to get back into this game.
Arizona tried to push the face-off ahead, take a page out of the Oklahoma book. They do maintain possession on the right side. Wade trying to center. Marshall couldn't come up with it. And it's cleared out. Timor will scoot it back up the right side. Wade tipping it in. Lazarek after it. Around to the right side, Gotti. Up come the Sooners. Long shot over top of the net. Works its way around to the far boards. Arizona on the regroup. Lazarek ends up with it, but he coughed it up at the line. Bird had to wait, though. His teammates were offside, and now Wildcats will go for a change. Left-siders Bailey Marshall trying to pull it free. Gets some support on the left wing. Gets it right back. Marshall in. Shot blocker save Babb. Marshall again on the rebound. Trying to feed it up top. Drifting to the right point. Dungy holding it in. Long shot. Babb save. And he's able to hang on despite the traffic in front. Will, one thing we haven't seen a lot of, but we got a little bit of it there. Finally, the pushing and shoving. There was a ton of it in the back half of yesterday's game, but really not much here today.
Yeah, a lot of bodies in front of Babb there. Those kind of scrums always lead to kind of some extra words after the whistle. But from Arizona there, with that top line, Marshall, Westland, and Cusinelli, that's what you like to see. They generate a lot of offense, and getting bodies in front of the net like that with a shot from the point always does good things for this team.
Jolie tried to tip it out of the zone. Oklahoma still can't clear. Now they take it out. But again, the puck picked off at center. Felt a little frantic there for a moment. Maybe trying to calm the pace down. Sooners back in. O'Day trying to wiggle free on the right side. Only kept it in momentarily. Feet ahead, left side. Marshall took a hit there to get it ahead, but Cusinelli knocked off his skates. And Arizona will just head for a change here. They are well offside. But Oklahoma can't take advantage. They just turn it over in the neutral zone. Pushing back in, Johansson right side on the backhand, trying to work in front. Babb save, rebound, clear to bounce from the slot. A shot, Babb the save again. So Phil Babb being tested here in the second period, comes up big again. Back the other way, Charlie Wilson trying to leave it off on the cycle, and Wilson arriving late. Raymond Wilson there, trying to support on the left side. Up at the right pointers, White, wrister through traffic, trickled just wide. Pavalsik getting the right pad on it. Arizona able to clear it out. White looking on the right wing side. Too far for Wilson on the lead, but no icing. Wilson will beat it out, so Pavalsik playing it up the near side. A backhand to the front of the net by Jolie, goes out the other side of the crease. Held in by Lazaric. Jolie on the right wing side with it again to the half wall. Turnaround wrister and an easy save for the Wildcat netminder. 8:11 to go in the second. Oklahoma still with that 3-2 lead. Opened up a little bit there for the Wildcats, Will. They had some good chances, and probably the most that Phil Babb has been tested in this hockey game, that little sequence a couple of minutes ago there.
Yeah, I think it was Jesse Lowell. I didn't quite catch the number. He had a kind of a bouncing puck that he did really well to get on net with the slap shot there. And then going back to the bodies in front of Babb, and Babb's had to come up with a couple big saves here.
Boy, Decker just laid out one of the Sooners on the far side. Keep an eye on that one. I think that's Gotti. He just dropped him. There's a hand pass to the side of the net. Boy, that was fairly blatant. And I think they're actually going to call him, well, a cross-checking penalty is going to be called here. I wondered if they were going to get him for closing his hand over the puck, but instead it's Oklahoma being penalized for cross-checking. That was the play that knocked him down, and so instead it's going to be Lazaric into the box, and Arizona's power play, which is 2 for 3 on the afternoon, will get its 4th kick at the can.
And again, one of those opportunities that Arizona could really take advantage of here. Kind of more of an up and down game over the last couple minutes, but time for Arizona to kind of set up some plays and get some pucks in the offensive zone here.
And let's see, they do win the draw and go to work setting it up. On the right side, Marshall with a chance. That's blocked off a shin pad and cleared. Lazaric into the box for cross-checking.
2 minutes for cross-checking. Time of the penalty, 12 minutes, 9 seconds in the second period. And gives your
So here they come again on the Hogan Transportation power play. Bailey Marshall, right side, feeding it in behind the net. There's a backhand into the crease. Puck is free, and we get a whistle here. So the faceoff is going to stay inside. So a break there for Arizona. But now they're getting that traffic back in front of Babb the last couple of minutes here when they have had the offensive chances, and now on this power play, Will, they're really starting to bring it.
Yeah, we've seen them be able to take advantage of some of those trickling pucks over the past couple days, and you'd like to see them maybe do that again here. A lot of good opportunities here on the power play.
Here's Bailey Marshall feeding it on the right side, tipped to the point. Held in now to the left side. Here's Cusinelli down to the dot. Wrist shot just off the left shoulder of Babb. Marshall on the right half wall. Looking, Cusinelli wide open in the slot. Wrister is tipped to the glass. And that one ends up going into the netting. Boy, good stick there from Raymond Wilson, just getting a tip on that.
Yeah, Cusinelli had a wide open shot there in the slot, especially for a guy like Cusinelli on the left side and on a power play. It was great work there from Raymond Wilson on the penalty kill.
Face-off will be again to the left of the Sooners' goal. This one is won back by Oklahoma. Bickford around, but it's kept in Cusinelli at the left point. Fed down low by Meyer. Puck in behind the net. And the pass did not get through, is cleared out, and they'll be chased down by Jones. Arizona starting to change up its power play unit as Cusinelli puts it in on the left side, but not very deep. Just cleared off a mitt, just gets out to center, but they'll say that's a hand pass because it went off Cusinelli and was then touched by Jesse Lowell.
Well, much better on these last 2 penalty kills here for Oklahoma. I mean, I know they've had, Arizona's had a couple of opportunities of scoring chances, but I think just overall much better by Oklahoma getting the puck out of the zone.
Oklahoma still with that 3-2 lead. And Arizona, 39 seconds to go in this power play chance. And whoa, Bivalczyk, little trouble with that one. Unfortunately, it was not going all that fast, but boy, you hate those moments. And swallow hard. Arizona trying to push back in and set things up here. Bunch of bodies on that right side. Puck still not going anywhere. Bouncer in towards the slot, fed to the line, and that just creeps over. Hole on the regroup at center. That'll pretty much do it for the power play. 5 seconds left. Wilson back in on the wing. He spun down to the ice. Played ahead and unable to come up with it there as he was bumped was Westland. And so Oklahoma gets through another critical penalty kill here in the second period. Maintain that 1-goal lead. Here's Westland digging up the right side. Can't come up with it. Giamona around to Joe Lee, out to center. O'Day with speed wide, wrist shot, and Bivalczyk with the glove save hangs on. 5:23 remaining in the second. Oklahoma 3-2 over Arizona. Will, how important is it mentally for Oklahoma now that they've been able to kill off 2 Arizona power plays after giving up goals so quickly on the first 2 they faced?
Well, especially just seeing how many penalties they've picked up as well. It can be pretty defeating when you see a guy skating over to the box knowing that you keep giving up goals on the penalty. It's been a really good effort overall from Oklahoma, especially here. About 5 minutes left in this period. We saw them kind of take advantage of the end of last period and the beginning of this period. I think Oklahoma's going to be looking to do that as well here, and maybe just overall just try and stay out of the penalty box.
5:10 remaining in this second period. And I'm interested to see, too, the penalties are different today than they were yesterday. Yesterday, there were penalties of aggression. Today, I think there are penalties where maybe fatigue is a little bit of a factor. A guy beats you, you take an extra shot at him, you hook, you hold, you cross-check. I think it's a little different today. And we'll see who has the most left in the tank with about 25 minutes of hockey to go here, barring overtime. And by the way, I've just sent us to overtime, I want you to know. Arizona trying to bring the puck through center. And instead, Oklahoma on the regroup. Giamona turning it over, getting it back, however. Try to send it deep. Timor. Left side, Timor skips through a check, gets it in. Giamona on it again, wraps it around the glass. But not out, held in by Bird. In behind the net and taken away now. Giamona again trying to move it up the wall. Hussar able to get it onto there. Now long shot. Oh boy, that one off the shin pads. Oh, Jones is feeling that block. He's got to skate it off though, play the puck ahead. Looks like he's going to stay out there. Maybe he has no choice. Looked over at the bench maybe to see if he could get off, but he can't as Oklahoma attacks. No icing. And Jones, left side, trying to break the zone with it. Gets to center. He'll chip it in and go after it. Gets there ahead of Lazaric, tying it up on the wall. Puck out of the pile. Played away from Marshall. Lazaric with it again, and he'll try to slow the pace down here a little. That pass missed. Charlie Wilson goes down for an icing call. 3:20 to go in the second period. And Oklahoma looking a little tired out there right now.
Yeah, I think Arizona's looking a little tired as well, but definitely you can definitely see it on the guys at Oklahoma, especially when you pick up an icing like that. A lot of heads kind of went back there. Just got to get through this shift here, get off the ice. A guy who I want to highlight on Arizona too, a guy who we usually talk about is Cameron Timor. We've mentioned him just briefly today. He's a guy who really gets things going on the offensive end by working so hard defensively. I think if Arizona's going to get a goal, I think that Arizona should look for a guy like Timor to really kickstart that.
Here's a chance in the slot. Babb with the save. Went off the shaft of the stick and out of play as cutting quickly in front was Max Meyer. And that'll get us a break with 3:08 to go in the second. Oklahoma with a 3-2 lead on Arizona. I don't know that Babb saw that shot, Will. I think it just kind of hit the knob of the stick and ended up going out.
Yeah, I think he was kind of looking for that one as well. But also, I know he's let in 2 goals, but Babb's starting to put together a nice, solid game here.
Backhand to the side of the net did not connect from Johansson. Moved around towards the point, and now Oklahoma able to skate it ahead. 2-on-2, third man in. There's a shot wide of the net. Wraps its way all the way back out to center. Now Babb has to come out and play it as it's dumped in behind the cage. And a big hit on the far side. And now a little bit of extracurriculars there as Dungy out. And a long shot back the other way. Pavalsik absorbing that one from Wilson, hanging on. Yeah, you can kind of feel the energy level, I think, is starting to ebb just a little bit in this one. And I think there's 2.5 minutes left to go in the period. Whoever's got just that little bit more push could potentially have the next goal before we get to intermission. Off-angle chance there is blocked. Jolie couldn't get it through traffic. Oklahoma trying to apply a little pressure here. They haven't had much, a lot of perimeter chances. O'Day in the corner. Jolie skates behind the net. Centering feed, a shot. Pavalsik the save from a chance in the slot. O'Day back on it in the corner. Puck at the left point, sent right back down the wall. O'Day cutting in. Wrister, and that one off Pavalsik. Puck right back in on him, and he holds on. Now a little bit of pushing and shoving in front again. Not much, just enough to clear out the space.
And I know I'm going to sound like a broken record here, but what a shift by O'Day just now. He had a lot of puck possession there in the corner, using his body, working hard, and had a couple of really great scoring chances there, just kind of circled back and from the left side. Really impressed by Jeff O'Day.
Arizona trying to move ahead. They're well offside. It's not even close. It cancels out the icing, but Westland was probably 10 feet over the line by the time the puck got to him. Oklahoma able to take advantage of that and move it back down the ice. Jolie, a centering feed off a skate, ends up behind the goal. Lazarek pinching from the right point. Puck comes up top. There's a shot that goes off a leg. Moran, nice job to cover. He just couldn't get that shot through. Here's Timor looking ahead. Feeds the right side. Pass back across. Wrist shot. Oh, what a save by Babb there. He just got the right leg on that one for Westland. That was ticketed low stick side. Here's Cusinelli. Westland trying to help him out. Into the right wing corner. Around behind the net. Cusinelli still down in a pile with the Oklahoma player. Fed to the high slot. Chance through traffic. Glove. Save Babb. Phil Babb has had an absolutely huge second period and has kept Oklahoma in front.
Just a great chance there. Shot from the point. Bailey Marshall doing a great job trying to get his stick on that one just to kind of deflect it the other way. Babb saw that one all the way, though.
And Babb has been so sharp here. I mean, you really do have to take his eyes away to have a chance maybe generate some kind of rebound. Arizona try to put one in on goal, and again, Babb out aggressively to make the save with the right pad. He's not afraid to move around, too, to try to get past the traffic and make those stops. Wilson into the far corner. Now he's decked from behind, and a penalty coming up here to Ben Jones.
And we've seen this a couple times too this season from Arizona. You hope maybe at the end of the season it kind of gets cleaned up a little bit, but they seem to take a penalty with under a minute to go in some of these periods, and it's just one of those things. You just got to get to the locker room and just kind of stay where you're at. And now, I mean, you got 15 seconds of kind of a short power play here with the face-off in their own zone.
Only the second power play of the contest for Oklahoma. They're 0 for 1. The other thing, too, is when Oklahoma has one power play and you've had 4 power play chances, you have to know the pendulum will eventually swing back the other way. So So Arizona, 15.2 seconds left in this period. And Oklahoma wins the draw. They'll try to set up. Bickford with a pass into the slot is cleared to the line, not out. Held in at the left point. Time ticking down here. The Sooners are going to get a chance away. Tip to the slot. White gloves it down, lets it go, but wide at the horn. And so Oklahoma will carry over 1 minute and 45 seconds of power play time to period number 3. And surprisingly, the Sooners have the only goal of the period. Pusar's second in the game. And really, I think the story of that second period turned out to be Phil Babb.
Yeah, Phil Babb had a lot of great vision there. And Arizona, it's unfortunate to be down 1 goal, but they did generate a couple opportunities there with shots from the point and a couple breakout chances as well. Babb did great to keep the game at 3-2. And then on the other end, Oklahoma going up into the third period here, up a goal with only 20 minutes to go. They got to be feeling pretty great. Then one last thing, too, we've been highlighting it. This will be the last 20 minutes of a 3-game stretch for both of these guys. We kind of saw some tired legs out there for maybe the last 5 minutes or so of that period. That'll definitely be a factor as well, with either picking up penalties or pucks hopping over sticks or just fanning on shots or different opportunities like that. So definitely keep an eye on that and how both teams are doing as far as stamina goes.
Oklahoma trying to earn a split on the weekend series. Arizona hoping to go full sweep here in a 3-game homestand. Arizona trails Oklahoma 3-2 after 2 periods of play. We'll be back with more Arizona Wildcats hockey.
University of Arizona hockey has a proud history of more than 40 years. Each year we invite back former Arizona players for an alumni weekend. Here's what they had to say about their experiences as Wildcats.
I'm Jeremy Goltz. I played here 90 through 94. I was a defenseman here at the U.
Hi, I'm Eric Holden. I played from 95 to 97. I'm a goaltender.
Shane Fossell, 1991 to 1992, and I played goalie.
Just walking in this building, seeing the boys, I feel like I'm an 18-year-old kid walking in here for the first time. Every year, there's different guys, some guys in, some guys out, but everyone's special. Especially last year with Kelly getting his jersey in the rafters. That one was as cool as it gets. But no, these are special, man. I wouldn't miss this for the world.
What's it like to see guys not only you played with, but guys from the spectrum of the 40 years of Arizona hockey, to see them all back here putting on red, white, and blue?
Oh, it's great. I mean, I came up here as a freshman in high school from New Jersey, so some of these guys were my idols until I got on the team myself. This season we seem to have more guys from my year than we've had in the past, so it's good to see the boys come back out that I used to play with.
Yeah, I mean, it's a huge undertaking every year, and it's great to have the boys come back whenever they can make it. Obviously, we'd like to see more join. There's obviously a lot of ex-players that we would love to see come back and be a part of this experience.
What is it you remember about your days at Arizona hockey that sticks in your mind and makes it so special?
I think a couple things. Obviously, you look at the fans. I mean, I remember here last year, I'm rolling in and someone's got a 25-year-old stick that we did at an autograph session. And then obviously, of course, the boys. They're still my best friends in the world. We come back here, we talk about this story, that story, what if we would have done this. So it's just special, man. I mean, I'm sure every university has it, but to me, this one's just a little different. The brotherhood is tight here.
You're part of this revival because you're the goaltender coach for the University of Arizona Wildcats. What is it like now to be the teacher teaching young kids? That you were once in that role. You were once the kid just trying to learn how to be a college goaltender. What's it like now to be the teacher?
Yeah, I mean, it's a very neat experience being able to look back and look at the game again through their eyes. And we have 2 outstanding, I think they're the 2 best in the league, goalies. And I can't say that their success is due to anything I'm doing, but I'm just glad to be a part of it.
Does that give you some satisfaction to develop young players and then see them become Arizona hockey players?
Honestly, it's the ultimate. Coaching, we were just talking with Berman Hogues about it, how coaching is, how tough it is, but how rewarding it is to see young kids, Manny Rowe, Churro, however you say his name, as a peewee, he's here tearing it up. Newfie, Decker, all these guys that, I knew as young men are here in my brotherhood, representing the jersey that I love and has really kind of pushed me passion throughout my whole hockey run. So no, it's the ultimate, it's the pinnacle. To see those guys win a national championship would be a dream come true.
Does this give you personal satisfaction, even though your playing days are over, to see the team be doing so well?
Yeah, it feels like the good old days. That's kind of where we left off back in the 90s. So to see them go through the trials that they've had over the years and to come up strong, it's just a big win right now for us.
Bear down, Eric.
It was extremely important. It was such a great time in my life. I made some great friends we're all still friends today. And looking back on what we achieved back then at the beginning stages of the ACHA, I think it was pretty important groundwork that was being laid at the time.
For Arizona hockey alumni that haven't come back to Tucson to join an alumni weekend, what can you say to them to tell them to come see their old teammates, meet new teammates that you didn't play with but also played at Arizona hockey, just that they should get involved?
They're missing out. It's every time you come here, man, there's a guy I haven't seen and I walk by him and I didn't recognize him 15 years. You've seen the guys even away from the rink, but when you're here skating with them in the locker room, it brings it all back. And, we can get the guys back here. We try every year. We got to get them here. It's just an absolute blast, and they put on a good show for us. So, once again, I'm happy to be here, as always.
Lastly, what is it that you want to say to other Arizona hockey alumni that haven't come back for one of these weekends? They haven't joined the festivities. They haven't done the alumni game. What do you want to say to them?
Boys, you're missing out on all the fun. Come on out. I guarantee you'll have a good time.
Your hockey team. Your Arizona Wildcats. Call 791-4101 for tickets now.
There is no doubt that number 16, Kelly Walker, is the best of the best. Kelly, when I think of you, I think of the love and the commitment and the greatness you achieved here, right on this ice. Kelly and his teammates were 24-0 versus ASU over that 4-year stretch. Please direct your attention to the south end of the Tucson Arena as we now reveal the banner honoring Kelly Walker. Please welcome back to the ice of the Tucson Arena, number 16, Kelly Walker.
You guys have a chance to show this town college hockey at the greatest level that you guys play. So I'm just extremely humbled to be here, to be in front of you guys, and to be in front of this whole great arena. And it's a very emotional moment for me. I'd like to thank my girlfriend, Andrea. I'd like to thank my line mates, Corey, Johnny, Johnny Wags, Goltzy, Danny Anderson, certainly Tommy Smith. I want to mention thanks to the great presentation that Tim did for me today. I want to thank Coach Burns. I want to make special recognition to Shane Fossell. And I also like to take recognition for every other player who has played here at the University of Arizona, who's proud to have played for the University of Arizona, and who continues to support this great program going forward and in the future. So guys, thank you so much for the tribute. Thanks for the support. Love you guys. Thank you very much.
Stay right there. We're perfect. We're perfect. Kairos stays on first, guys. Good work.
16.
It's time for another Arizona Wildcat hockey, this or that.
Slap shot or backhand?
Slap shot.
Why?
Not like I can shoot one, but they're a lot harder.
Blondes or brunettes?
Blondes.
Why?
Do it better.
Thank you. I agree. I would have to agree. Let's see. Crosby or Ovechkin?
Crosby.
Why?
Ovechkin is just like not the best defensive player I've ever seen.
Oh my gosh. I think wow. I don't think people are going to like that answer.
It's a hot take, I know, but Ovechkin just not the best defensive player. But Crosby, big two-way forward, and I love it.
Got a good point. It's a good point. Let's see. Mighty Ducks or Blades of Glory?
Quack.
Hey. Why or?
I mean, personally, I don't think there's a better hockey movie than the Mighty Ducks. There's 3 of them. We'll forget about.
Well, which one's the best one?
Well, not D2 or D3. It's the first one.
Oh, okay. So just one.
We'll just skip D2 and D3. We can just cut those.
It like never happened.
Yeah, we'll just forget about those.
Boxers or Commando?
Boxers.
Why?
I don't know. I'm just not feeling free today.
Oh, so this is just today, not just in general? Oh, okay. But like normally. Boxers, still it's just boxers?
Commando.
Oh, okay.
Here's Bailey Marshall, the star from Central Oklahoma. Back to Cusinelli, the all-everything star for Arizona. Down to Chris Westland, who sends it in on goal. That's a good idea. It's right in the slot. And it's a goal for Arizona!
I think that's Bailey Marshall. Bailey Marshall, who already had a couple goals last week for Arizona. And that's a big one for the Arizona Wildcats. They even this at 1-1 in the second period.
It could go in the period. There's a high hard shot, but it's kind of sitting around in the crease.
Where's it? It's in the net. That's a goal! Arizona scores the first goal!
As the Cats go in the man advantage. Get the puck up behind the blue line. Down low to Cusinelli. Shoot the puck, Anthony.
He does. That's a beautiful shot. Shoot the puck. Anthony Cusinelli. Score the goal. Anthony Cusinelli. Arizona takes a 3-0 lead. Wow!
That's an excellent look by Cusinelli. You saw him look for the pass first, but then he was aware. He had a clear shooting lane, and he took it, and he's one of those guys that can put it just where he wants it.
Anthony Cusinelli turns with it. Oh, naked shot. It gets tipped in. Anthony Cusinelli just threw it towards the net, and I think Bailey Marshall may have tipped that one in. Up the near side boards. That's come away with it. Justin Plummer the goal. I'm not sure if that's Justin Plummer's goal.
I think that might have been Trey Decker. I'm not quite sure, but
I think Decker just threw that in front and it bounced in. Arizona has possession of the puck. That can't happen. Cats come over the blue line.
And they shoot, they score! They shoot, they score! Arizona scores! And that puck was given up. We talked about mistakes. Wow, what a mistake right in front of Joshua George. Anthony Cusinelli had a good shot there, but George saw it and made the save. You know, Anthony Cusinelli, I think, just needs to shoot the puck a little bit more like he did there. He switches now to the center of the ice. Take the shot, Anthony. And he shoots, he scores! Anthony Cusinelli! He shoots, he scores!
Great puck movement there by the Wildcats on the power play up top.
All right, welcome back to the Tucson Arena, where the Arizona Wildcats trail the Oklahoma Sooners 3-2. We'll be beginning this third period here shortly as the players will be returning to the ice. However, after that second period, our own Autumn Freutland caught up with Trey Decker for an interview. Let's see what Trey Decker had to say.
Hi, I'm Autumn Freutland, and I'm here with number 25, Trey Decker. Trey, you guys have been playing really two tough periods against Oklahoma. What are you guys going to have to do in the third to come out on top?
We're just going to try and keep doing what we're doing. Probably bring a little bit more energy than we have the first two periods. Could be a little better, but, get pucks deep and get the boys going.
Awesome. We will see you with Trey Decker, and we'll send it back to the booth.
All right, thank you, Autumn. We'll be starting up again, like I said, here shortly. I believe it looks like they have a power play coming back for the Sooners. They'll be opening up that third period on that power play that Arizona had picked up late there. And for Oklahoma, you're headed into the third period here, up 3-2 on the road, going for a road split and a 2-1 road trip against the Arizona schools. And for a team in the WCHL that is so jam-packed and so competitive, it really is great to see Oklahoma be able to come out on the road and really compete in all three of these games. It really buffers up the WCHL a lot, especially we know how good Arizona is in their record. And for Arizona, coming out of the third period here, they really need to kill off this penalty in order to get the momentum kind of going the other way if they want to make a comeback into this game and complete the 3-0 sweep here at home.
First things first for Arizona, and that is to get through the minute and 45 seconds of this penalty kill, and that has to be squarely where their focus is coming out of the locker room. You cannot start slow when you're killing it off a power play against. After that, then they have the opportunity to really try to put it in gear 5-on-5. And if you're pressuring Oklahoma, if you're generating chances, I guarantee you the Sooners are going to take more penalties because you're forcing them to skate, you're forcing them to keep up with you. And if you beat a guy, the temptation is going to be there for him to pull you down. So I would not be surprised if Arizona got maybe one or two more power plays if the hustle is there. But like I say, first things first, they need to come out to start this third period and really, to a man, just sell out, kill off this power play chance against, and go from there.
Yeah, and we talked about how good that penalty kill has been this season for the Wildcats. Something that, again, you don't necessarily want to rely on. You never want to be playing a man down, but when those opportunities and those kind of the special teams have to be out there and play, they're doing a great job of taking advantage of goals on the power play and killing off penalties on the other end. And as far as picking up penalties go, we highlighted how this is the third game in 3 days for these teams. Oklahoma is on the road. If Arizona or Oklahoma can pick up a lot of extended time in the zone for either one of these teams, that's kind of where a lot of those penalties will be drawn as well. Some tired legs, long shifts, kind of just maybe icing, and even just icing the puck as well, keeping more tired legs out there. I'm interested to see how the stamina goes for both of these guys.
Well, that is something, too, to take note of, is if you could take advantage of catching one of the lines out there for an extended period of time. That could be the break you're looking for. And so, we don't see the goaltenders play the puck too often to break up icings, but that's something that, maybe Babalsek or Bab will be alert about and know, hey, this line's been out there for a long time, break up an icing and get the puck right back up the ice so as to be able to keep them from really getting a change and press the advantage a little bit. But also, your forwards have to be alert and ready for that headman pass as well. So, but again, first things first, they got to get through this penalty kill as we're getting ready to start period number 3. A minute 45 seconds remaining in the cross-checking call against Jones to kick things off here in the third. And so we are underway in the third period. Oklahoma will start with possession. It's taking them a minute to set up here, and Arizona saying take your time. Puck dumped in beyond the Wildcats net. And that clearing attempt does not get out. Brown will feed it towards the right point. White able to tip it across the blue line. And Oklahoma does keep it in. Boussard's got 2 in the game, stationed on that left half wall. Takes a leave for him from Wilson, gets it behind the net. And now it comes back to him from Brown. Left point, Bickford feeding it over. Now to the near dot, Boussard up top, Bickford. Over to the right point, back to the left, Bickford feeding it back. White at the right. Into the slot, tipped up by Wilson. White, shot blocked in front. And back to White. Fed down low, a chance in front again. A defensive play in front. Arizona blocking shots here on this penalty kill, and the puck goes out of play on the near side. Exactly what we talked about, Will, though. Good to see the Wildcats selling out to block those shots.
Yeah, definitely. They had a lot of energy kind of moments on that penalty kill. It's great to see coming out of the break for them to really, not come out flat-footed as something that we have seen from Arizona. It's something that is good to see, especially on the penalty kill.
Face-off will be controlled by Arizona, and they will clear. Time ticking down on this man advantage. Down to a half minute for the Sooners. O'Day tipping it into the left side corner. Chasing after it, knocked down. Pops right back up. And the Sooners will go to work setting it up. Giammona over to the right side. Right wing corner, Finch. Gets it back to the right point. Went past Finch on the half wall. Around it comes to the left point. There's a shot in, and Bovalsik save on the redirect in front. No rebound. And 3 seconds left to go before Arizona can claim even strength once again.
Yeah, huge face-off here in their own zone. Probably like one of the only shots on really there on Bovalsik. Good to see him get in front of that one.
Face-off will be to his right. A crucial face-off here. Won by Oklahoma. Quick shot wide of the net. Jones out of the box. Back to 5-on-5 hockey as the puck rims its way around the dasher and gets to center. Jones will head for the change here. And both teams, in fact, changing it up. It's a long lead pass on the right side, slapped out of the air by a high stick as it's touched by Babb. Nice hand-eye there from Bickford to keep that pass from connecting, but with the whistle, the face-off will go back inside the Sooner zone.
And they did, and Arizona did what we talked about. They open up the period and they kill off that penalty. Now here it all goes from here. Let's see if they can get some maybe extended time in the Oklahoma zone.
Face-off to the left of Babb. And here's White behind his own net, trying to clear. It's tipped and kept in by Bailey Marshall. Marshall, right half wall, tried to slide it across, shot through traffic, save made, rebound, save again by Babb on the doorstep, another chance. Babb's got the left hand against the post and keeps it out. Puck ends up in behind the net. The battle raging, it's cleared along and kept in. Arizona shot wide of the net. The Wildcats trying to apply the pressure here. Oklahoma finally able to move that puck onto the zone, but Phil Babb again coming up big.
Yeah, we saw him make one of those kind of stretched out saves last afternoon, I should say, and we saw it again there. Definitely an opportunity there for Arizona to have tied that one up.
Arizona trying to be aggressive with the forecheck pressure here. Bickford able to get it at least to center, but now it's turned back to the Oklahoma D. O'Day will tip it down, no icing. Bovalsik out to play it. On the left side, Meyer to center. Tossed right back in. Chased by Hedgecote. And up the glass and a roller out to center once again for Arizona. So again, the team's trading chances in the early going here. Johansson tried to slip past the D, could not do it. And now Oklahoma dumping in, going for the change. 3:45 into the third period. Oklahoma 3, Arizona 2. Hedgecote, right side, lead pass picked off at center and sent right back in. Oklahoma does not mind that, Will, and it's something we talked about at the end of yesterday's game to make Oklahoma go 200 feet. Well, they want to make Arizona do that now, trailing by a goal.
Yeah, they're doing a great job kind of keeping the puck down on the Arizona end, not necessarily even just trying to create scoring chances, just trying to keep the puck down on the other end. Obviously, that seems pretty obvious, but the further away they are from Babb and everything's moving towards the other end is good things for Oklahoma.
Sooners carry ahead right side, and a chance tipped up into the netting there as Pickford's shot ends up grabbing us a whistle here. 4:34 into the third period. We have not seen a goal scored since right at the start of the second, 46 seconds in, when Pusar scored his second of the afternoon. White's got the other one for Oklahoma. Bailey Marshall on the power play, and then the goal changed to Jesse Lowell, the second goal for the Wildcats here this afternoon. Arizona steps back in. Tried to put it deep, could not. Oklahoma doing a nice job standing up at the line and kind of pinching off those pucks. Puck moved ahead with a hand pass there. A little chaotic in the neutral zone for a moment.
Yeah, and I'm okay with no penalties there as well. I think it's just kind of bodies kind of bumping into each other a little bit.
Be interesting to see if, as we talked about heading into the period, you know, you can generate some of those hustle penalties and get some power plays if your legs are moving. But again, how much gas in the tank for teams playing their third game in 3 days, both of them. And Oklahoma had that little bit of travel coming down from Phoenix. White at the left point, holding it in. Wildcats clear, and now they'll have to readjust, regroup. Timor with a pass. Up in the left wing, tip to Larson. Larson, wrister, tipped wide. Around it comes to the right point. Can they hold it in? No. Hold got there just a little late. And big hit by Larson on the far side as he delivers the check. Now a chance the other way. And Bivelsick with a glove save on Pusar as he tried to go top shelf.
Pusar's having a great game here too. I know that puck kind of squirted out to him, but I believe both goals are for Pusar here, and I think they are definitely guys that he's going to be going hunting for that hat trick.
And I think there's something to be said for right place at the right time. When you know you have that sense you're having a good game, you kind of put yourself in those places where the puck just comes to you. So Day in the corner. Trying to fight his way in front. He did, and just put the puck wide. Bickford stepping down the wing, trying to keep the play alive in the corner. Knocked past him. Wade getting it back into the Oklahoma end. Played away from Dawson Marshall onto the far side. Jolie feeding it behind the net. Now he'll get it back on the right wing. Stretch pass missed O'Day. That should be icing, and it is. 6:12 into the third. Oklahoma 3, Arizona 2. Cusinelli, Marshall, and Westland out, the big line that we've been talking about this afternoon. They've got one goal generated on the power play here. In fact, both Arizona goals on the power play. Puck cleared out to center, but Marshall back for it. Cusinelli could not control it, stumped back in. Here come the Wildcats. Cusinelli looking for Marshall, right wing corner. Puck in his skates. Ref wants him to move it. It's not going anywhere. Still there. Cusinelli watching, and now he gets dropped in behind the play there, and a cross check from Giamona. Still in the pile. They really aren't going to give him the whistle. Puck ends up at the right point. Fed back down, Cusinelli through the slot, tried to get it across the ice. There's a shot, and it did not get through in front by Hedgecote. White, backhand up the wall, helped down the ice, and Bivelsick, did he? No, he did not leave the crease. Boy, that was close. Because if he gets out of that crease after the puck and he thought about it, the icing is negated.
And especially for a long shift like we had mentioned, that was a long shift there for the Sooners. They're going to have some tired legs out there. I'm kind of surprised to not see a whistle there down there on the other end. That puck was held up for quite some time, but regardless, Arizona able to get a good chance out of that.
Well, let's see here. And teams, look, let's be real, teams always sneak a guy or two off in this situation. You can't keep everybody out there on the ice. But definitely keeping the majority of guys out there. Let's see if Arizona can capitalize, especially now that Moran has to come in and take the draw. Wilson waved out. But Oklahoma comes up with the puck. They try to bounce it towards the line, and Wilson knocks his man down and is able to move it ahead. There's Moran with a shot, knocked down by the glove of Bavalsik, and he'll hold on.
Wildcat fans, be sure to follow us on social media to receive live updates about
So Oklahoma, thanks in part to their goaltending and thanks in part to just the ability to kind of squeeze out of danger here in this third period so far. Still up 3-2, but Arizona starting to mount some pressure. And of course the Wildcats have the advantage of being able to sleep in their own beds the last couple of nights. Puck pushed into the Oklahoma zone. Chance in front of the backhand. Didn't go. Now in the slot. Timor a shot. Tipped up top. Rebound out in front. Cleared away to the wall. Ends up with Lazaric on the near side. He's able to get it out of the zone. And again, Oklahoma getting a big save there and then finally figuring out a way to clear the puck. Here's Timor. Bank pass right side. That one is cleared back past Lowell. Moving in on the left side. A chance, a shot. Pavalsik the save there on the wrister from Cam Brown. Brown following his own rebound to the right side. Hold on to the pile and a stick check there. And Jolie couldn't get a shot away. He's after it again to the right wing. Cycles all the way up top. Pressured there. Fed it deep. Boussard tied up. Puck skips past him. Arizona back in the right wing. They try to push through center here, denied. And right back in, Oklahoma. Pile forms behind the net. Just over 9 minutes gone here in this third period. Oklahoma still with that 3-2 lead. Wildcats able to move it ahead. That's Manny Rowe. He'll just chip it softly into the zone and head for the change. Big line back out for Oklahoma, but O'Day overskates. And the puck turned back over. Sooners again able to regain possession and just get it back out to center. Bickford knocking it down. There'll be no icing here. Chased behind the net by Larson. Bickford skating it ahead. Dumped in on the left wing by Finch. Pavalsik out to play it along up that far side, and we get a whistle penalty. A slashing call. Arizona's going to be shorthanded here with a little more than half a period of hockey to go. Oklahoma, this is the biggest chance of the game. Their third power play of the afternoon here. And if the Sooners can generate something, they've had a couple chances, not a lot of quality chances here, Will, but this is huge for them.
Yeah, Bavalsik's been able to get himself in front of the puck on most of their chances here in the third period, but again, you never want to go down a man.
So slashing the call, and Decker the guilty party. So right now, Arizona, who started the period by killing off a power play against, really need another good effort here as Hole sends it to the line, not out. Kept in only for a moment. Dawson Marshall able to get it out past that. Marshall trying to tie his man up the line. Nice job stepping up there on the blue line by Hole. Forcing the regroup by the Sooners. The pass that Wilson did not know was coming. At center, Brown trying to push in on the left wing side. Nice job there by Rowe, forcing him to go wide and take a long route to the puck. O'Day out on the ice now. Brown behind the net with it. Try to feed O'Day, ends up at the point. Pass across is tipped away to the near wall. 40 seconds to go in the power play for Oklahoma. There's a centering feed blocked off in front, and Bovalsic will hold on to the loose puck. And that will get a tired power play and penalty killing unit off the ice. For Arizona, they hung tough, but boy, you could tell the legs weren't moving much towards the end of that shift.
They're fortunate to get a whistle there. A great puck freeze there. Just cover it up. Just don't mess with it too much there. Again, we are seeing the penalty kill in action for Arizona, the highly touted one, and they're doing a great job just keeping them to the sides and off the blue line as well. They're not letting them get too set in any plays.
There's a one-time shot and blocked by traffic in front of the net. Finch on the puck in the corner, shouldered down off it. He pops back up, still tying it up on the boards. You hear the yell 20-20 from the goaltender Babb, indicating the time left in the power play. Jolie, one-time blocked by Rowe. Rebound, again blocked. Jolie trying to feed it up top. Giamona keeping it in. Jolie on the right side, taken away. Is it cleared out? Yes. Arizona does get the puck out. They get through the penalty kill. It stays 3-2 Oklahoma, and now there's 8 minutes left to go in the third.
Great work by Chris Westland there on the penalty kill. We highlight his goal scoring ability and what he can do offensively, but really finished off that penalty kill well.
Yeah, killing penalties is all about effort. It's one of the hardest things to do. It's a lot of stop-start, a lot of back and forth. It's tiring. But again, as you said, this vaunted penalty kill, which came into the game at 94%, that's probably going to go up here.
A lot of guys getting caught there.
And let's see, did they get too many men on the ice? It's possible that the linesman just got Oklahoma again for too many men on the ice, and I believe that is what happened. So Arizona handed another power play. As a coach, this drives you crazy because it's a careless penalty.
Yeah, and I'd have to go back and see it again, but it looked like one of those too many men where they're just trying to get out there a little too early, and then the puck just happens to kind of squeak right by the bench area, and especially whenever that happens, it's one of those things where you just have to call it.
12:28, time of the penalty. The bench minor will be served by Charlie Wilson. We get an immediate whistle with the puck into the bench. Faceoff will stay inside the Oklahoma zone.
Here's your Wildcats, a Hogan Transportation power play.
So this is the fifth Hogan Transportation power play of the afternoon for the Wildcats. 2 for 4 so far. They'll hold it in. There's a shot coming in. Save made in front of Babb. Actually might have just hit traffic. Bailey Marshall tried to feed it in front, didn't get through. Digging in behind the net, Johansson over to the left side. Left point, Cusinelli cutting down to the dot. Fanned on a shot as he had a stick check. Puck in front, what a save! Babb got the left leg out there, just got the toe on it. And now here's the stretch pass ahead. Marshall cutting right back in, but unfortunately the pass didn't connect. Well, Marshall try it again. Right side, Johansson. Marshall on the half wall. Up top, Jones trying to feed it across, runs into some traffic, and the puck comes out. Boy, Phil Babb has absolutely kept Oklahoma in front these last 2 periods with some stellar saves.
Yeah, massive save there from Babb, and that's one where the puck just kind of dribbled right out, hit a couple bodies in front, and that was open there for the taking, but Babb did well to get across.
Arizona changing up the power play personnel. 45 seconds to go in this key man advantage. 5th one of the afternoon. They've scored on 2 of 4 so far. Boy, the Wildcats could use a third here in a big way. They push back in on the left wing. On the left point, Hole feeds it over to the near dot. Shot coming in, did not get through, as it was blocked by Giamona and then cleared out. Pass back up the right side. Westland gets it across. Timor wanted to go back to Westland. Pass tipped behind him. Westland right half wall, cross ice. Dribbles through to Timor. Timor in the backhand into the slot. Put back up top. Hole through traffic. Couldn't get it through. And now onto the box is Wilson. And Oklahoma kills off another too many men penalty. Wilson with a shot. Sent it high over top of the net and got decked for his efforts. Timor taking a look. And Arizona trying to get out. Coming up on 5 minutes left to go here in what we will begin to call regulation time. It's 3-2 Oklahoma. Bickford pressured in behind the net by Dawson Marshall, forcing the turnover. Marshall trying to center, could not get it through Jolie. And Jolie will manage to get it just barely over the line, but turn right back in. Larson dumping it to the left wing corner. Marshall up on the forecheck. Tied up in the half wall. Larson trying to help him out. A lot of pushing and shoving in the pile. We've seen a reluctance to generate whistles out of a frozen puck on the wall, so they've got to clear it out of there. Time's a-wasting for Arizona. It finally comes free, and Oklahoma up with it. Clearing attempt doesn't work. Shot in, tipped high over top of the net. Bickford sending it back around. White lost it on a bouncing puck. Now he gets it back. Trying the far side. And Oklahoma will just wedge it out. Cutting across to glove it down is Dungy. Dungy sending it back, and we get a whistle. And now are we going to get too many men against Arizona? They're talking it over. No, they're just going to, I believe, whistle it down to the hand pass. That was a close one. There were a lot of bodies hopping over the boards.
Yeah, for both Oklahoma and Arizona, a lot of a kind of extended shift there for both of those guys. I think what ended up happening there was I think there was just sloppy changes kind of for both sides. So I think they just kind of moved the puck out of the zone. I think they ended up calling it officially a hand pass though.
Wildcats win the draw and pound it in. And now as we are under 4 minutes, we'll begin to keep an eye on Bavalsic a little bit, see if he navigates his way to the bench for the extra attacker at any point. But if Arizona's got any energy left, this is where you need it. Oklahoma moving back in for a chance on the wing with a shot, and Bavalsic blockers that one into the netting. Jolie trying to go high on the stick side, denied. Will, I think all of the buildup to this moment here, the talk about Arizona being comfortable even when they're not in the lead, now you need to see them pick it up a little bit. Both teams, 3 games, 3 days. What do they have left in the tank? All these storylines we've been talking about, the goaltending, the defense, the aggression, this is where it all comes to a head.
Yeah, and I mean, we have about just over 3 minutes left in the game here. For the sense of calm and everything that Arizona is able to do when they're in situations like this, they come back so resilient, and they've been able to tie up a game late against Arizona State last weekend after being down 2-0 in the third period, and you just hope that they have the energy that is necessary to provide a moment like that. You hope that their legs are under them and they get a couple good shifts out here and some good chances on Bab. Oklahoma doing a good job just kind of tying up Arizona and killing off a lot of time.
Oklahoma will step up and dump it in once again. Manny Rowe back after it. Up the left side, Meyer trying to move it ahead. Arizona will push 3 men in deep, try to retrieve the puck. Sent right through the slot, but there was nobody there for it. That allows Brown to clear. Under 3 to go here in the third. Oklahoma with a 1-goal lead. Rowe through center, left wing feed. Finds Meyer, his shot deflected behind the net. Arizona trying to change the D behind the play, and we're unable to maintain the zone. Bavalsic with a big stretch for Bailey Marshall, but missed him by a wide margin, and that generates an icing.
Well, after the whistle here, action with Marshall and looks like Giamana. I mean, and that's something that we didn't see too much of today. I thought, especially with the game yesterday and how it sort of ended and 2 guys who aren't able to play because of fighting, there wasn't too much after the whistle action today, which I was a little kind of surprised to see. Maybe a good job by coaching staff on both sides just saying, don't pick up a penalty by doing something like that.
And especially you would imagine that's the kind of thing they'd be watching for after the way yesterday finished. Now they're going to throw Moran out of the draw. Gaddy comes in to the right of the Arizona goal. Wildcats win it back. Now bring it up ice. Bovalsic watching the bench, seeing if he's going to get the sign, and instead an offside call. And so Wildcats thwart their own rush. So it's Bailey Marshall along with Westland and Cusinelli out there. Puck is won back, Hole. Slide it up the right side. They wave off icing here. Westland in on the forecheck, but he overskated it. Slid back up the right side. It stayed on the dasher just long enough that it skipped past Hole. He has to send it back in. Wildcats tag up, 2 minutes to go. Arizona needs a goal here. O'Day trying to play it along. It stays in. High slot. Marshall cutting to his left. Walking in deep. Had a stick tied up. Tried to slide it in front, and it was blocked. Back the other way. Pushing ahead. Here comes Oklahoma. They elect to just dump it in. And they'll try to pressure on the forecheck. Played away from O'Day. Marshall. Left side. Cusinelli lifts one in the air. Went behind Rowe. Minute and a half to go. There's a shot in on goal. Tipped into the near side corner. Left point, White. Kind of surprised they dropped a PA announcement right in the middle of play. Wilson will send that one into the corner. Coming up on 1 minute to go, and they need to get the goaltender out of there.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'd be expecting him to come out along with this rush here.
Here's Larson trying to battle up the right side, and he stays put. Still not called out of the net. And Oklahoma didn't really let the Wildcats get possession in the zone. 42 seconds to go. And you have to imagine with the puck up ice, so goes the goaltender. And indeed, that will be the case. Hole will dump it in. Wide of Babb, who knocks it down into the corner. Slid around the left wing side. Puck the stick slashed out of the hand of one of the Wildcats. Play continues on the left wing. Marshall trying to get to it. Poke towards the front of the net. Marshall to the backhand. Knocked down on the dive. Couldn't get a shot off. Puck up top. And it rolls out past Jones. 15 seconds left. And Rowe ends up putting it in the Oklahoma bench. Face-off will come outside with 12.8 seconds to go. Oklahoma 3, Arizona 2. And well, here's where you burn your time out. Hope you can get a rest to your horses and try to push ahead with this one. Not a lot of time, but enough time.
Definitely enough time to get at least a scoring chance out of 12, basically 13 seconds, 12.8 remaining in this game. If you're Arizona, I mean, they're unlucky that the faceoff isn't in the Oklahoma zone, because we saw their 2 goals come from set plays from the faceoff. Unfortunately, that faceoff will be outside of the zone because of the puck into the net, or into the bench there, rather. I'm interested to see what they could do, maybe a set play out of the zone even, to just try and get it in and get a scoring chance with only 12 seconds left to go.
So the faceoff will be in front of the Oklahoma bench. And it will be 6 skaters for the Wildcats. Just looking at who's out there right now, it looks like Rowe, Cusinelli, Bailey Marshall, Chris Westland. Trying to see who else is in the pile. The camo jerseys don't make it any easier to read the numbers. Not that Oklahoma's maroon on black is a treat, but nobody consults the broadcasters when they make jerseys. Nobody says, hey, what's a high contrast that you'd be able to see pretty easily? So let's see what we have here. And it looks like Timor is not going to stay out there. Hole is out there. And they put Meyer on the right wing. And now it will be Hole walking it in over the line, high slot. Puck is turned back down the ice. Will it miss the empty net? It does, for an icing call with 4.3 seconds to go.
And Hole almost broke through there, actually, through the blue line. Almost was able to get a scoring chance going there. I mean, this is 4 seconds here. I mean, I don't know how long it took for Arizona to score on those power plays, but maybe 4 seconds is all you need.
Looks like Marshall, who's a left-hand shot, is going to take the draw here, so they're not going to try to take a shot off the faceoff. They're going to try to win it and get a shot. Puck into the corner, though. A centering feed does not get through. Block played to the wall, and that'll do it. And so Oklahoma comes out with a big 3-2 win here this afternoon over the Arizona Wildcats. And boy, Will, that one, they had to earn that victory. And you know what? I think the end of the period, back when we talk about the first period, when they scored that goal to even it up right before the break, I think that's when they really put their stamp on the game.
That was definitely a momentum changer for sure. And then on the other end of it too, they came back and scored that next goal, that ever important next goal too, to make it 3-2. And they never really looked back from there. They were in control. What felt like for a majority of that second half of the game. A really good outing there from Oklahoma. And for Arizona, you know, a 2-1 homestand here against some really quality WCHL opponents. And I think, again, we are still early enough in the season where there's some things that they could fine-tune for sure. But already you have to note how strong that penalty kill is and how great they are at killing off those opportunities when they do go to the box, because I mean, they gave up 4 or 5 penalties today. I mean, if you're getting scored on even 1 or 2 of those, this game's a completely different game. So it's just an effort thing all around, I think, for Arizona on the penalty kill. And offensively, you know, they get into some good scoring chances, and today we saw that. Phil Babb played a tremendous game with a couple really tough chances there that he was able to keep Arizona off the board.
And Babb, I think the story of the game, besides Pusar's 2 goals, and as you mentioned, I mean, it was within 32 seconds of the end of the first period, it becomes 2-2. And then at the 46-second mark of period number 2, now it's a 3-2 Oklahoma lead. And really from there, Arizona was chasing the game, and Phil Babb was the reason why they were not able to catch up and tie things. He had several tremendous saves in the second and especially the third. When the pressure was on in the last 5 minutes, had a big-time toe save, and so Babb, really the story here.
Yeah, he was able to make a couple crazy stretch saves. We'll send it down to Autumn here, who's with Coach Berman.
Really tough game tonight, and this is game 3 out of 3 days for you guys, 3-game weekend. So putting this game aside, how do you feel like this weekend went overall?
It's going to be tough to leave here not feeling like we didn't finish the job. We had an unbelievable opportunity to really put a gap in our conference standings here, and we didn't get it done. So it's disappointing.
And obviously next weekend you guys take on Western Michigan. Is there anything you're planning on doing to prepare for those games?
You know, our preparation's on ourselves. We've got to get more consistent Monday through Thursday before we expect it to be consistent on the weekend, and I think that's the main focus right now.
Thank you so much, Coach. If you are joining us on our YouTube broadcast, I will send it back up to the booth with Tom and Will. If you're joining us in-house tonight, thank you so much for coming, and we hope you come back next weekend when we take on Western Michigan. Have a great day.
Well, an unfortunate end to the game here for Arizona, and for a team who, you know, tried so hard and fought so hard. To come away only losing 1 of those games is unfortunate. They could have had a sweep against the Oklahoma schools for the season, something that would be a great accomplishment, but a lot still to take away here for the Arizona Wildcats.
Yeah, and you know what, Will, this is a learning experience for this team, and I'm sure Coach Berman is going to use it as such, because the power play was good today, but didn't cash in later when they hoped maybe they would. The penalty kill was exceptional again, and I thought both goaltenders were very good, but Oklahoma, a very good team coming in here, and you can't take that for granted. And they took their foot off the gas at the wrong times. They took their foot off the gas after they scored that goal to go up 2-1 in the final minute of the first. They thought, okay, we can just cruise into the intermission. You can't do that. Then you have to learn that you have to play out all 20 minutes of a period. And so I think that's a big moment right there. And also the start coming out for the next period. You have to put it in gear right away. And so it's unfortunate that ends up costing them a win here this weekend, but overall, you know, it's, as you said earlier, it's still early enough in the season where you're still figuring things out a little bit, still putting it together, and they're growing and learning together as a team.
Yeah, and for the Oklahoma side, came into this game ranked number 19, picked up a 2-1 road trip against the Arizona schools, one came against ASU. And as far as their ranking goes, you would assume they will move up. This team is really strong. We saw guys like O'Day, Raymond Wilson, then obviously Phil Babb and net. This team's going to be tough to beat, and for a WCHL that is so competitive, 2 huge road wins for Oklahoma to come into Arizona and finish 2-1.
I was very impressed by Oklahoma and the way they played this weekend here. They were a tough out both nights. And both of these teams, I think, are level with each other. And, you know, what we did see a lot of talent on display for Oklahoma. I can see down the road where these guys are going to be nip-tuck with the Wildcats in divisional play, and it's going to be a challenge. There's not a lot of easy games at this level. I mean, guys know how to play hockey, and it's just a matter of whoever's going to bring it in tonight. I think we once again have to mention Phil Babb. For me, his effort tonight really was what secured the win for Oklahoma.
Yeah, and so Arizona will fall to 11-2-2. That'll be their second regulation loss there. And so that'll do it for this weekend. Next weekend we have games against Central Michigan, both of those on Friday and Saturday. 7:30 p.m. start puck drops there, so a little bit more of a normal schedule, I think, for these guys. And our broadcast will be back for those games as well. Those will start at 7:15. So if you are joining us on the YouTube and Facebook stream, we will be doing that again next week at 7:30. Tom, thank you so much for filling in for Tim these past 2 days. It's been a great pleasure of mine. I know for the whole staff, we all think so as well. It's been awesome. Thank you so much. And for all of us with the media team, this will be our media team signing off here for this broadcast, and we hope to see you guys next week in Arena and on the live stream.
Thank you for watching University of Arizona Wildcats Hockey. Visit our website at ArizonaWildcatHockey.org, and we'll see you at the Tucson Arena for the next Arizona Wildcats home game.